Good evening, folks. Good evening. Okay, I'm broadcasting live. Good deal. Good evening, gentlemen, ladies. Good to see you. Good to see you. How many do we have in the house so far tonight? I'm waiting for the number to pop up. Looks like we're sitting on about 9 so far. Well, it's not bad. Not bad. But on my channel, I normally get things started when I'm about either 10 minutes in or 50 people. If you can get 50 people in here by liking, sharing, subscribe to the Bernard Riley channel, of course. And if you're not subscribed to the LilBigNate Show, please. Oh, it's not going to show me the number in StreamYards. This isn't my StreamYard. Jesus. Okay. But we're going to get it together, man. We're going to figure it out. No worries. No worries. We're going to get it all figured out. We're about to get things started. Okay. Looks like we're sitting on about 14 right now. Good deal. Ladies and gentlemen, we are broadcasting live from the Bernard Riley Grown Man Hour platform. Had a copyright issue over on my platform. So I got a 7-day suspension, and I'll be addressing the people that did this. I promise you, as soon as my channel's back up. But in the meantime, I approached my man, Bernard Riley, and came to him with an idea. I said, Bernard, why don't we do this, man? You know I'm an arbiter of good faith in this space. I would never disrespect your channel. That's why my episodes of WND will be greatly pulled back. You'll hear very little cussing. One might slip every now and again. I got a jar sitting next to me, and every time I cuss on Bernard's platform, I have to put $100 in the jar. So I had to do something to control my urge to cuss while I do my presentations, but I will refrain from doing that. We will have an incredible show tonight. We're going to touch base on the BET Awards, the nightmare that has become Black culture in this country. And if you look at the thumbnail, and yes, I am the thumbnail god. I'm labeling myself as the thumbnail god. I'm sorry, folks. I just am. You'll see in the thumbnail, over to the left of the thumbnail, there is all the horrible things that Black America represents right now. We see Lil Nas X in his dress. We see Black men with lipstick on. We see trans individual. We see, and they have the right to live their lives, of course, but their way of life shouldn't be shoved down our throats in any way, shape, or form. We see the wonderful trans individual at the top reading to our children, looking like a complete demonic figure. And on either side of that demonic figure, we see a Black man screaming and a Black woman screaming as they all fall into hell. Yes. And you'll see the little children saying goodbye to all the failed Black Americans. Yes, they are. They're saying goodbye, devil, gray Black man, with your twerking on Satan and with your long braids and lipstick. Goodbye, sir. We're leaving you. We're gonna let Black America have this. Okay? If this is what Black America wants, this is what you're going to get. We are going to get on the road and travel to this new place called New America and New Black America. Just look at the thumbnail. There's all sorts of stuff in it. Okay? Including my Cash App. Okay? This is how the money works while we do this. Okay? Brother Bernard gets your super chat. So super chat. I want you to support this brother. I know he's not taking a risk having me on his platform, but there is some risk involved. You never know what somebody's going to do. But he trusts me enough, and I appreciate that trust more than he can ever know. Because I don't like anyone to silence my voice. Anybody. If I'm going to be silent, it's because I want to be. All right? Now, so, again, your Cash Apps go to Brother Bernard. Your super chats go to Brother Bernard. Your Cash Apps have to go to me, and I'll be calling them out every 30 minutes. So, again, what we do in the LilBigNate Show, I don't ask for support. I don't ask for you to contribute necessarily. I ask for you to purchase the product. I give you a fire show. You pay the entry fee. That's it. And the beautiful thing is you get to pay whatever you want. You could literally pay me $2. We're good. You could pay me 10. We're good. 25. We're good. You could pay me $200 if you got it like that, and we are good. Whatever you choose to pay is what you pay. Just think about walking around the LilBigNate Show Emporium with your shopping cart, filling it to the gills, or just putting a couple of items in. You take as much as you want, folks. And then when you get to that Cash App Express checkout, what you do is you pay whatever you want. Whatever you want is what you'll pay. So, it's another beautiful day in sunny South Carolina. It's red states. And, it's interesting. We talk about red state versus blue state. I'm sorry, it's a beautiful sunny 73 degrees right now in lovely red state, God's country, South Carolina, baby. And we're going to touch on secession. Okay? We're going to touch on what Texas is doing to get out of this, what is obviously becoming a failed union, because we are inundated with a group of people committed to failure, committed to government dependency, and committed to causing as much destruction to those of us who just want to live our lives, work, make our money, plan for our futures, and raise our children. We don't want no drama. We don't want no beef. You want to chop off your privates and become a woman if you're a man? Go ahead. Just keep your hands off my children. You want to live a bathhouse lifestyle where you spread your backside over an hole that's been sawed into a wall where random men can come by and have their way with you? Cool. You go ahead and do it. You just keep it away from us. But see, these monsters, they insist on our children being exposed to this filth and this depravity. They insist that we acknowledge their suspension of reality with the bringing about of 90 different genders on Facebook. This is what the Luciferian left requires. And I say no. I say no. And if you're insisting on this, well, then we have to do what's best for us. If you read let me read the description to you, okay? On installment 59 of the LilBigNate Show, broadcasting live from my main man's platform, The Grown Man Hour with Bernard Riley, we discuss the BET Awards and the corrosive, poisonous Black culture that it represents. As the overall culture of America continues to disintegrate, what should be our response? And the word our means competent, law-abiding, family-oriented American citizens. Is it time to separate and forge a new society using our well-established U.S. Constitution and value system? We will discuss this and more. Join us for the most compelling conversation around. Yes, sir. That's what I provide. Even though I'm on another Black man's channel who has some outstanding conversations, the way he structures his thing is a little different from mine, But compelling conversation nonetheless. And again, folks, as you shuttle in here, I appreciate so much that you're here. We're sitting on 56. Wow, that's awesome. 56 people. And we are almost 10 minutes into the live stream. Bernard, brother, I would like to do an intro. If you can give me that 30-second countdown at the 10-minute mark, I'd so greatly appreciate it, Bernard. I'm not going to bother you too much tonight, I promise, man. Again, our gracious host, Bernard Riley, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit him with super chats. Super chats go to Mr. Riley. Cash apps come to me. Again, super chats go to Mr. Riley. Cash apps come to me. And I plan on earning quite a bit of them tonight. Get your wallets ready, folks. right, folks. Now, you know me. Yeah, I mean, I would normally give you my intro, but my intro triggers copyright issues, which would demonetize my brother's platform, and I will cause no harm to my brother's platform. Not one iota. All right. So I want him to make his money from the views. I want him to make his money on super chats. I want him to make his money on just about everything. Okay. Oh, God, I swear. Let me see here. Yes. I want him to make his money on just about everything. Okay. But there's a real problem going on in Black America. I mean, a tremendous one. Okay. A problem that threatens us all. I came to this space a little over a year ago, hopping on panel. I've been in this space 4 years, and I've been getting on panels a little over a year. Okay. And one of the main points that I would speak on when I started getting on platforms was this culture of ours. While there are Negroes in this space who love to cry and whine about policies, that's not our primary issue. Okay. Hiring more filthy Democrat politicians and getting them to pass legislative initiatives that really amount to nothing more than welfare. It's not going to help us as a group of people. No, it's just not. And I know that's what most of Black America is preoccupied with, getting their celebrity scumbag politicians to get little crusts of bread and sips of water for them in the form of welfare. That's not what we look for here. That's not what we look for as competent and productive men. It's just not, But the first thing we have to address is this toxic and poisonous culture, which is really ruining generations of Black folks, and really it's ruining generations of Americans. Whether we want to realize it or not, Black people are responsible for much of the culture in this country. We just are. Musically, entertainment-wise, much of the culture comes from us. And we've been steered into such a depraved direction culturally that, I'll be honest with you, America could charge Black America with having such a detrimental effect on it because of our poisonous culture that we could be brought up on charges. That's how terrible what I see happening on social media and what I see happening on other social media streams is. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. God damn it, my computer. I don't know what's going on. But, we're going to have to address these issues. And we're going to have to come to a very quick conclusion on the best way to address them. Do we attempt to change Black America? My vote's going to be no. We got a lot of horrible Black Americans. And don't get me wrong, it's not just Black Americans, of course. There's a bunch of horrible Americans, period. But, being this is the community that I'm from, this is the one I'm going to address first. Got to clean up your own backyard before you can clean up anybody else's, But what we're going to do is discuss, what the hell is wrong with this? We're going to discuss exactly what steps we should take in order to ensure that ourselves and our progeny have a chance at a future. Because if we stay associated with these monsters, and they are monsters. I'm having some computer issues right now. There's some couple of videos I wanted to show, but I'm not sure what's going on with my computer. It's not acting right for some reason. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. How many of you saw the BET Awards? That nightmare display of leftist ideology and leftist culture. Pure democrat from beginning to end. And look, if there are any Democrats in the audience, I'd love for you to come up when we drop the StreamYard link. And, we can talk about it. No need to be afraid or anything. I'm not going to attack you. I know it sounds like I probably will, but I won't. I promise you. I will let you get off whatever you want to say. I know you're pro-welfare, you're pro-open borders, you're pro-convicted pedo trans story time at the local library. That's that in the thumbnail, that's the picture at the top. Convicted P word trans story time at the local library. That creature that you see in that picture is reading to 4- and 5-year-old children. He literally looks like a demon. The horns coming out of his head, the grotesque makeup on his face. And this is what the left promotes. If you vote Democrat, this is what you're voting for, sir. So I would just love for you to come up and defend it. We'll have a civil conversation about it. I promise you we will. I promise. I promise. So, oh my God, what is wrong with my computer? What is going on here? Hopefully it'll calm down. All right, so the most talked about event on the BET Awards was, of course, Lil Nas X, a gentleman that started out with a smash hit with Billy Ray Cyrus, I think Old Country Road or something like that. And it was a huge hit. I saw the little fella, it didn't look too strange to me. The video was interesting, it was whatever it was. But who knew that this young man was a Trojan horse for the LGBTQ LMNOP agenda? Who could have guessed that? We've been lulled to sleep largely as an American public, and we're paying for it. We really are. So this man was able to win the hearts over of a lot of young people with that catchy tune. And then before you know it, he's twerking on Satan. Wow. Twerking on Satan. Tonguing Satan down in a video. Man. I mean, okay, that's what you enjoy. You can do that. I just don't think it should be promoted. I don't think children should be allowed to see it. It needs to have an NC-17 rating or something. BET used to play their most filthy and depraved videos during BET at night or BET After Dark or whatever it was called. The Nelly tip drill video was on there and the like. BET at the time was showing some regard for their audience that is filled with children. But those days are gone, it appears to be. Okay. And we all know Viacom purchased them. Mr. Charlie came and purchased BET. And, we as Black people, we always sell what we build. We always sell it off for some reason. Yeah, the money's important, but I think Mr. Charlie knows that ultimately what's important is getting into the hearts and minds of the people. And through BET, they've been able to do that. So much so, with their corrosive and destructive message, the monsters at BET felt comfortable with this creature, Lil Nas X, performing his perverse performance on their platform during the award show. And at the very end, they capped off their insult to us by having this depraved, mentally ill boy tongue down one of his male dancers just to shove their thumbs in our eyes and tell traditional values loving Black Americans to hell with you. This is the direction we're heading in, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, I looked in the comment section of these BET Awards. They broke down the performances in their own little individual videos. And to my dismay, there were a ton of complimentary comments to this depraved performance. And most of them were ABWs. Boy, got a lot to talk about you ABWs today. You are the primary reason why it's time to separate. Not from all ABWs, but from the ABW members of the sisterhood. ABW stands for American Black Women, okay? There are decent Black women that can be worked with over here to the right. And then there's the rest of these monsters over to the left. And if you have any sense as a man, you'll stay as far away from these monsters as you can. They are disgusting. They are self-destructive. They are everything they believe and do is absolutely counterintuitive to having any kind of functional future, household, relationship with a proper man. You can forget it. These women revel in their ability to slaughter their children by the hundreds of thousands. They are monsters, and you'd be wise to leave them alone. I did not say all of them, but all the ones that are in the sisterhood, you got to leave them alone, dog. You got to leave them alone. They are monsters. And I would have to imagine that most of the people that were clapping after seeing that perverse display of homosexuality, let's just call it that. I don't think that'll trigger anything bad. After that perverse display of it, many of the people that were clapping were, in fact, ABWs in the audience, clapping and happy. Isn't it interesting? This is the same woman who complains ad nauseum about the lack of suitable mates. I've said several times that I could literally do a 6 to 8 hour live stream just on the contradictions of the ABW. 6 to 8 hours. Just me. That's how many contradictions exist among these monster group of women, the ABW members of the sisterhood. For God's sakes, the single worst woman in the world. You absolutely are. Now, again, not all ABWs, the members of the sisterhood. That's all I'm talking about. Now, what we have to ask ourselves is what percentage of the ABW are members of the sisterhood? Well, I'm going to put the number at anywhere between 60 and 70%. That's how terrible our situation is. Absolutely terrible. You ladies wonder why you have a marriage rate of 26%. That is an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment that you would have such a low marriage rate. I mean, literally, how do you even defend that? I don't know. I don't know how you do it. We're about 10 minutes from our first 30-minute time mark, and I'll be calling out the Cash Apps, folks. Please purchase the LilBigNate Show product. I'm going to be honest, Bernard, I'm having trouble with my computer. I can't even pull up the StreamYard link right now. I got this spinning rainbow of death, but since nobody's called me or texted me, I'm still y'all are able to hear me. Hopefully the spinning rainbow of death will calm down and I'll be able to see the StreamYard link. And if you're super chatting, I'm so sorry I'm not able to call them out right now. I'm literally not able to pull up the StreamYard link. Goddamn computer problems. Oh! But anyway, so we have this ruined woman. Not all, but most. Most is anything over 50%, folks. Most of them are either ruined or well on their way to being ruined. All right. And again, we make distinctions. I've never and will never say all Black women. I will never lay a blanket of condemnation over all ABWs. Never, never, never. You never have to worry about that with me. But unfortunately, it's most of them. Jeez. Oh, I mean, most. And what's ruined you, ladies, is your commitment and allegiance to the Luciferian left and the Democrat Party. It has ruined you. It's ruined you. Okay. What I'm gonna have to do, I might have to log off and then log back on, y'all. Because I know you can hear me. I know everything's cool there, but I have to get back to my StreamYard tab, and I've been waiting for like 10 minutes and it's just not working for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. Well, we'll give this a try. I'll give it another 10 minutes or so. And if not, I'm going to log off. Was somebody there?
Oh, no, that was me. I was coming up briefly. If you need to.
Okay, yeah, that'll be great, Bernard. Let me, because I can't even get to the StreamYard tab. So I'm going to log off. It may take me 10 minutes, but I'm going to log back on. I'll be right back up. All right. So, all man, right. I appreciate the save, Bernard. Yeah, I really want to see what people are saying, man, but I cannot see it because I got this spinning rainbow of death on my Apple computer. So,
yeah, I'll sit here and literally talk about nothing for 10 minutes.
Bro, did you see the BET Awards?
No. I haven't watched BET in a long time.
I don't blame you, dog. So, I don't blame you, man.
I heard about it. What
a nightmare, man. And look, folks, my apologies. This is my fault. We're flying it while we build it. So if you please will rock with my man Bernard just for about 10 minutes. And bro, I'm so sorry to pull you away from what you're doing, man. But all right, cool deal.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do what you gotta do.
I would do what I gotta do. Give me 10 minutes, I'll be right back.
All right. Shout out to Aegon the First. Says, I haven't watched the BET Awards since they were sold. I didn't stop watching when they were sold, but I stopped watching. Excuse me. I stopped watching. I can't even remember when I stopped watching. I literally cannot remember when I stopped watching BET. It practically doesn't exist. Like, I have DirecTV. If I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, $1 million question. What channel does BET come on DirecTV? If I had to guess, I couldn't get it. And I've had DirecTV for a long time. I've had DirecTV for like the last 5 years. I could not tell you what channel BET is. I literally could not tell you. No idea. I would lose $1 million on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire if I had to if that was the final question. I didn't have no phone a friend, no 50-50, no nothing. I would be dead wrong. I'll be dead wrong. And I'm sitting here on laptop speakers. This is a new, nice laptop, but I don't know how the audio sounds on this laptop. But shout out to Aegon once again. He said, I'll never forget the BW checking Bob Johnson during her introduction once the overlords gave her the CEO job. Excuse me. I don't even remember that. So I must haven't been watching since then. He says, I knew then what was coming. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Also, somebody, I think it was Omega Dress sent a super chat too. And I do appreciate that. Y'all make sure y'all hitting up LilBigNate's Cash app. Hopefully he gets everything together. All right. Somebody had threw out a random topic. Theo says, Bernard Raleigh, tell us about being a good father. You remember that Kevin Hart joke when he said all dads do, they just sit on the couch and listen out for stuff and just be listening real hard and just yell, hey, hey, hey. There it is. And you got to have the look. You got to have that just get the crazy look in your eyes and you know how to yell, hey, hey, hey. Then you got it. You got it. That's all you need. Wild, crazy eyes, and hey, that's it. That's it. Easy breezy. Easy breezy. I'm just a little more to it than that. Snuggles in the building with the super chat. Oh, see, I'm all discombobulated. I forgot I can click on my little
Hi, I'm Snuggle. Snuggly softness. That's really less expensive.
Shout out to Snuggles. She says, you don't have to worry. I am here, everyone. And yes, Bernard was sleeping. We caught him red-handed. We wonder, what were you dreaming about? My dreams are weird. They say dreams mean something. I don't believe that. But for the people that say dreams mean something, I can guarantee you my dreams don't mean not a damn thing. They be the most weirdest, random, spontaneous, just stupid. So no, don't ask me what I dream about. I don't even know what I dream about. And that bear is creepy. That bear is creepy. It gets closer and closer every time. I think somebody said something along the lines of, tell us about RP. Oh, you know, it's one thing that's weird. I listened to MTR, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. I listened to like the first 15 minutes of his conversation with the chick who said that the guy that she was dating got to pay her bills after the breakup. It was interesting. I didn't care nothing about the conversation. That's why I only listened to 15 minutes of it. But I noticed when he mentioned, he said RP, and then he said the manosphere. So he didn't abbreviate the manosphere. So it's like, okay, so is manosphere okay to say, but red pill is not? That had me thinking. Because when people would have got subs like him and run a red pill channel, when they know what to say and what not to say, I tend to believe it. Kevin Samuels abbreviates certain words and don't abbreviate other words. I'm assuming he has some insider knowledge of what you can and can't say. But I noticed they say manosphere no problem, but they will say RP when it comes to red pill. That's a little odd thing that I noticed. But it looks like LilBigNate is ready to go. Hopefully I properly filibustered you all for about 10 minutes or so, 5 minutes or so, and we could
oh man,
right back to LilBigNate.
Bernard, look at God, right? Look at God. I never had this problem on my channel with something freezing like it just did. And I would have had to log off, probably lost several of the people that were listening to me. But I'm here, it happened, and you were there to save the day, man. Thank you. I so greatly appreciate it, man. Yikes.
All right. I'm dropping back out of here.
You good, man. You good. Do your thing.
Someone do says, BR, one question. Who is the team for the ages? Me and LilBigNate right now.
Yes, perfect dance, absolutely.
Right now, today it's me and LilBigNate, but normally me and Obsidian. But right now, me and LilBigNate. Right here, right now, on this fine day, this fine hour, it's me and LilBigNate.
Thank you.
All right, I'm getting up out of here. You go ahead.
Do your thing, bro.
I'll be there. I'll be there if you need a screen share. I'll be there.
Understood. Thank you.
All right, I'm out.
Wow, y'all do not know how weird it was to be talking and not be able to see the chat, not be able to see the actual YouTube screen. I just couldn't do it anymore, man. I literally want to see what the reaction is. And also, I got to call out the super chats, and I hope you brothers are hitting my man with super chats now, please. And hit your boy with the cash apps, man. That's how we get down over here. We pay our way, gentlemen. That's what we do. All right. So, the BET Awards. What a nightmare. All right. What a nightmare. We got, what's her name? Megan the male horse. You do know a stallion is a male horse and a filly is a female horse. But doesn't matter to a bunch of stupid, ignorant, feckless Americans, especially Black Americans. Oh my God. just the level of stupidity. A stallion is a male horse. But maybe it's fitting because Megan is so incredibly masculine. Unfortunately, like a lot of ABWs, extremely masculine. Not all, of course, not all, but many. And, she had her little event where she was doing all her provocative dancing, with her legs wide open towards the audience and sticking her butt out for everybody to see. And all her dancers were, and, it was just a party, just a depravity party. And there was the city girls who couldn't quite twerk on time. They seemed to be out of sync somewhat. Maybe it's the 35-pound hair hats or the 12 pounds of makeup on their face. I don't know. But they just didn't seem to appear to be in sync. Of course, we can't play the videos. We won't be getting any strikes for Mr. Bernard Riley's channel. But, and again, the piece de resistance, Lil Nas X, tonguing down one of his male dancers at the very end to take their fingers and stick them in our eyes. How much of this are we supposed to take? I'm curious. How much of this are we supposed to take? I'm going to show a couple of videos that are going to help illustrate why it's time to separate. Why, in my personal opinion, not only Black American culture, but American culture is on the way to just being completely finished. And what's leading the charge on the demise of American culture is Black American culture. Like I said before I had to log off, we are responsible for much of America's culture. Entertainment-wise, the culture of sports in America, much of it is dictated by us. And what are we doing? We are producing some of the most disgusting and abhorrent material imaginable. And it was all illustrated by the BET Awards. If you look at my thumbnail, that magical miracle thumbnail, because I am the thumbnail god, see? You see him in a dress. Now, this was discussed with BET. There's no way that he could have shown up in a dress 15 years ago at the BET Awards. No way. They would have said, man, what are you doing? And ushered him off to either make him change or kick him out of the venue. Showing up in a dress. But today, 2021, this is what we get as a group of Black people. You do know at the helm of BET are Black women, for the most part. As a matter of fact, let me pull up. I'm not going to show this, Bernard. Don't worry about it. But I want to remember the BET CEO's name. I had forgotten it. My apologies. Yes, Miss Deborah Lee. Miss Deborah Lee. She's at the helm of BET. Yes, she is. And what is Miss Deborah Lee opting to give Black America? And really all America, because I'm sure with the popularity of Black music, there are several different groups of people watching this debauchery. And these filthy pigs, these disgusting ABW monster members of the sisterhood, which Deborah Lee is one of them, taking BET on a course that will have it smack itself into a brick wall and explode into flames. Think about the level of contempt these disgusting, horrible women have for straight, competent Black men. Complete disregard. Like I said, the BET Awards used to be this massive display of masculinity, even hyper masculinity, with all these rappers and the gangster talk and all this stuff, gold chains, and yeah, just this hardcore display of hardcore hip hop. And the women did their thing, the singing, they were somewhat feminine, can't expect too much femininity from ABWs that would appear on BET. I'm just sorry, you can't. But they did their best. Let's say that. They did their very best to try to put on some air of femininity. I'm talking about years past of the BET Awards. And here we are, greeted today by a wicked Luciferian group of leftist Democrat nightmare ABWs who's committed to completely destroying the image of the black male. I'm sorry. How else do you describe this? How else do you describe them putting this filth on display for the world to see? This is now because BET, Black Entertainment Television, I'm going to start calling it Black Eviltainment Television, but BET is supposed to speak for the black community, ain't it? Ain't BET supposed to speak for us? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? George Floyd, you know what I'm saying? Breonna Taylor, you know what I'm saying? They're supposed to speak for us. You know what I'm saying? The BET is supposed to speak for us. Yes, brother, I think they are supposed to. They do. They absolutely do. Well, they're supposed to. And I think this is just all part of the plan to destroy the image of the competent, productive, heterosexual black male. Like I said, this little boy came in on his Trojan horse, hiding behind those nursery rhyme raps and all that funny imagery that was in the video with Billy Ray Cyrus. And in that Trojan horse were a million mentally ill GAHY folks ready to invade our television sets, our living rooms, and put the nail in the coffin of the Black American culture. Yes, they are. You think this is hyperbole? You think I'm exaggerating? I don't think so. Maybe you're just stupid. Maybe you're dumb as a box of rocks. Maybe you're as dumb as you look. Just maybe. You think this is harmless, do you? Harmless, eh? A young man that's been catapulted by the Luciferian left and Democrat media, because that's all this media is in the country, is leftist and liberal, catapulted to superstardom based off one song, and then for him to flip the script the way he has, because none of this was apparent when he started. None of it. And BET would allow itself to be used for this nefarious purpose. It warmed the cockles of my heart to hear Bernard say he doesn't watch BET. Neither do I. Neither do I. Not only did I get rid of my, I had DirecTV, I got rid of that. Then I got Dish Network, got rid of that. And when I got my Dish Network, I didn't get BET because I was like, man, to hell with BET. It's trash now. Absolute garbage. Absolutely useless to us. Serving no purpose whatsoever. Okay? And, you know, it's so unfortunate because I remember Teen Summit. I remember Video Soul. I remember the symposiums they would have on Black issues and, you know, crime and welfare, and much of it was centered. It was much of it was aimed in the direction of leftism and Bill Clinton and rejoicing his election and stuff. But nonetheless, BET used to do some actual good work. How many of you remember Teen Summit? Our Voices with Bev Smith. Absolutely, Sir Tice. Bev Smith, she was an institution on Black radio for decades. I wonder how she would feel about these filthy monsters, that skunk of a woman, Deborah Lee, and all the other ABW ghouls and effeminate, pillow-biting black men that run BET today. I wonder how Miss Bev Smith would feel about that, Sir Tice. I wonder. I would hope she would be just as upset as we are. Caribbean Rhythms, Washed Gamer. Thank you, that badass light-skinned baby girl with the accent. She hosted Caribbean Rhythms. Oh, tall, statuesque, beautiful sister. With her real hair, oddly enough. Man, we have been bamboozled. We have been hoodwinked, folks. We have been led astray. This was all a plan. It was all a plan, dog. How could you be that? Answer this question for me, brothers. How could you be that focused and consumed by homosexuality and have no hint of it in your first major hit? If your life is about tonguing down other grown men, gyrating your pelvis on the backsides of other men, acting as effeminate and mentally ill as you can, if that is what consumes your life, how did you hide that in your first major hit? Why wasn't that your product from the day you started making music? Why wasn't it? I'm gonna need you folks to hit that damn Cash App. You leave your brother hanging, there's no reason for me to do this. I gotta make money, folks. And also, you need to hit my brother Bernard Riley with the Cash Apps too. I can't bring them up on the screen, but I will read them and we will discuss them. We pay our way, gentlemen. We absolutely do. I wasn't able to call out my Cash Apps in the beginning. I'll call it at the hour mark. So if you like what your brother does, if you appreciate Bernard Riley graciously giving me access to his platform, and show the appreciation by hitting my man with the Cash Apps and hitting me. Jesus, I'm sorry. Hitting him with the super chats. I always confuse the two. And hitting me with the Cash Apps. All right. That's what we got to do. Oh, God, it's so disgusting. So incredibly disgusting. Miss Deborah Lee with her crew cut. She got a little crew cut. She's got a little short due because being a miserable and disgusting ABW feminist ghoul, that's what she has to do. I can't be going around with no long hair looking feminine. I gotta let these folks know I'm a boss, bitch. Yes, you are, Deborah Lee. You're the boss of running. My man, F. Holiday with the 5-ball. I literally just tried to click it. How ridiculous am I? My man, F. Holiday with the 5-ball. I wish I had a sound effect. I tell you what, I'll do my set. Well, no, I can't because I had to reboot. How about I make an explosion sound? Boom. My man, F. My man, what's his brother's name? F. Holiday with the 5-ball, sir. Brother Bernard Riley so graciously appreciates it, man. I wish I could drag it up on the screen, but I can't. I'm so sorry. But what are we as black men, as competent, productive, center and center-right leaning black men? What is our response to the filth and ghouls at BET for putting this depravity on display when you're supposed to represent us? Not 4% of the population that is represented by the homosexual and the individual that is a trans person. I would say that a whole lot different on my platform, but we respect Brother Riley. I'm not trying to do anything to get him in trouble. So, what should be our response to these filthy leftist scum? What should it be? Should we start writing letters? I think we should all start writing emails to BET. Take 5 minutes out of your day, brother. When my platform goes back up, or on Saturday when I broadcast, I will have an email address where you can email BET the filthy ghouls at Black Eviltainment Television, and you can let them know how disappointed you are in this nightmare direction that they've taken this network. And in the meantime, drop your goddamn subscriptions. Drop all of them. If this is what these bastards represent now, cancel your subscriptions today. Today. And let these pillow-biting, effeminate Negro trash have their network. You pillow-biting, ankle-grabbing, coward nigger trash. That's what you are, supporting this filth. I hate you niggas. It's my boy's food. Give me a second. God damn it. My apologies, folks. My apologies. I know you. If I could, hey, Theo, I'll be buying you dinner soon enough, bro. Don't worry about it, man. Yes, Trey the NBD. If I could click your comment there, sir, stop watching mainstream media, period. Stop it. I told you, I got rid of my cable. There's a box out there that gives you access to certain channels. I might be doing that. I'm a big fan of the Food Network, of Discovery Channel, a couple of other channels. A&E, because of the First 48, I love that too. So I want access to some of media, but so much of it now is so incredibly corrosive. Like I told you, my son is studying to become a UFC fighter. He is so serious with it. Like I told you, he does 2-a-days. He goes to the gym for strength and conditioning with a coach, and then spends almost 3 hours at a Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class 4 to 5 days a week. All right. And it's, oh God. Usually almost every Saturday, there's a UFC fight. At least 3 weeks out of the month, right? And on UFC fights, there are commercials promoting trans and homosexuality. Literally the most masculine sport in our country today, mixed martial arts, has a bevy of homosexual and trans commercials that we have to watch as we watch the fights. Why would they put those commercials there? Why would they put those commercials there? Mr. Mo returns. My son is a grown man. I don't tell him what to do. He's 22 years old. My son wants to fight in the UFC. He's going to fight in the UFC as long as his skill sets are there. Sorry. I don't let my son do anything. He's a grown man. Okay. But I appreciate you, giving me that advice. I'm just going to have to decline it. But that's what we're bombarded with as we watch the UFC. We just sit there and shake our heads. How many of you are familiar with Loki? I think the Disney Channel series. How many of you know, because my son told me this, the only reason I know about it, that Loki said he was a bisexual. In the latest episode that came out last week, he literally said he has sex with men and women. It's everywhere. We are being bombarded with this everywhere. Shout out to Ingrid Jarrett with the 10 ball for my man Bernard Riley. Ingrid Jarrett with the 10 ball. Well, $9.99 to be exact. Thank you. I think Ingrid would be a woman's name. Thank you. I think Miss Jarrett. We so greatly appreciate it. And don't forget, folks, right there at the bottom of the screen, $ LilBigNate. Right there at the bottom. So, we're being bombarded with this everywhere. Not only are we being bombarded with this everywhere, it's taking over almost all aspects of Black culture. Thanks to the ABW. She is the canary in the coal mine for all of this madness. You know how many posts I've seen on Facebook? Black is the new GAY. Black is trans. They are going to destroy us. And they're telling us too. The left. I swear to God, if you're a Black man and you can make sense of voting for the left, and I know my man Theo's in the chat, and Theo knows, man, that's my nigga, dog. That's my man. He has invested more in the LilBigNate Show than anyone else times 10. Literally times 10. And so he knows that none of what I say he should take offense to. Theo is a classical liberal, a liberal that believes in freedom of speech, freedom of expression, a liberal that believes in two genders, the nuclear family. Liberals used to believe in these things. They don't anymore. This current iteration of the Democrat Party does not believe in any of that. But my man Theodore, these are his words. He is fighting from inside the party to change it. And I wish him the very best. I don't know how much of an effect he'll have, but he's a pretty smart fella, so we'll see how it goes. So let me see if I can get this video up. Teens twerking on police cars. Yeah, let me see if I can pull this up. I had to reboot. So let me first read to you how many videos there are of teens twerking on police cars. We got one in the New York Post from 3 weeks ago. Wild Friday night in Miami Beach, March 12th. We got Chicago, teens twerking on police cars. Brother Bernard, would you mind coming through? I'd like to share a screen if you don't mind. If you don't mind, brother. Let's see here. I will get it shared, and all you got to do is throw it up on the screen for me. And it's just a Twitter video showing the product of the ABW doing what she does today. And whenever you're ready, Bernard, if you could take that screen and put it up, and I'll be able to play it. I greatly appreciate it. But yeah, you know, there's an epidemic out here right now of teenage ABWs twerking on police cars. About a dozen videos of this. About a dozen. Okay? And it's pretty interesting. All of them, none of them have the hair on their head that they were born with. Of course they don't. We know that the ABW doesn't do that today for the most part. There are some sisters that rock their natural hair, and we so greatly appreciate it, ladies. But the vast majority of the ABW doesn't. So what we have is a large group of young women. I don't know where Brother Bernard is, but maybe we'll be able to put it up. Maybe we won't. We'll see. But a large group of ABWs twerking on police cars. Now, I'm assuming this is for some civil rights justice protest for the fallen soldier, Fentanyl Floyd. That's what I'm assuming. Okay? That's what I'm assuming. But I don't understand how twerking on a police car has anything to do with honoring Mr. Floyd. I'm just not sure. Again, I'm not sure where Bernard is. We'll play it eventually. But these are parts of the reasons why separation is absolutely mandatory. Again, when you look at that thumbnail, you see groups of individuals walking away from failed Black America, right? And they're walking towards something new, something better. There is a secession movement in Texas that's gaining steam. There is a secession movement in Florida. There is a secession movement in South Carolina. And to be honest with you, brothers and ladies, this is something we might want to look into. We just might. I don't know how we stay associated with what the U.S. has become. I don't know. And hopefully when we open up the stream, brothers who have better answers besides bailing on this nightmare will be able to come up and inform me, because I don't know how we're supposed to do it. I've already instructed both of my children, my son and my daughter, there is no way you're going to be able to send your children to public school. I told my daughter, you better be prepared to homeschool your children. And I told my son, you better marry a woman that's prepared to homeschool yours. Because they are going to be inundated and bombarded every day with filth and depravity on behalf of the Luciferian left and the Democrat Party. They are taking over American culture, and they're not going to let go of it until every little boy is in a dress, until every child is being sat on the lap of a convicted P-word trans person at the local library. You do know that 4 of these creatures had been found to be convicted P-words. Convicted. Not alleged P-word, convicted. How do you feel about that? On that legendary stream I did a couple of months ago, LilBigNate versus the Luciferian left, I actually had to take it down. It was so incredibly impactful. I mean, I tore these monsters to shreds. And oddly enough, before that stream, I was on my way to 300 viewers. I had hit 100, and this is just 3 to 4 weeks into me streaming. Had hit 120, 140. I did that stream and I struggled ever since to get 100 listeners. Struggled. Even though my subscribers are growing. Hell, after being off of the air for almost a week, I've gained 60 subscribers. It's crazy. It's crazy. But this is what we're facing. If we attempt to address the destruction and demise of American culture and Black American culture, we're silenced. We're silenced. We're fighting on behalf of children that are being forced to be around a group of individuals who have a mortality rate of 40%. You heard that right, folks. You heard me correctly. The individuals from this community of shapeshifters, they have a suicide rate of 40%. 40% of these individuals take their own lives. I take no joy in that, none whatsoever. They are mentally ill and they need help, not encouragement. They need help, not encouragement. But ultimately, you're a free American citizen. You can do whatever you want with your body and your life. Just stop demanding that I acknowledge that your mental illness is something good or great, because it's not. And everywhere we look, everywhere we turn, this is all we see. Now, back to the ABW. Who raised those girls that I would like to show? Hey, Bernard, again, if you're listening, bruh, I like to show a video when you get an opportunity. Who raised these girls that are now I guess it's a popular thing to do now, to twerk on police cars. Twerk on police cars. Black girls all over this country twerking on police cars. It's time to leave, folks. It's time to leave. And then you ladies wonder why video after video after video of young black men, when they're met in the mall by one of these YouTubers, and they ask them, do you date black girls? And by the dozen, these young black boys say, no, I don't date black girls. No, I don't date black girls. No, I don't date black girls. The ABW would suggest it's racism and the black man want the white woman. You stupid, stupid woman, you. Has nothing to do with the fact that you're black. It has to do with your terrible attitude, your reckless, irresponsible behavior, and your ego, which is the size of 10 men's egos, if we're going to be honest. And where do you get off having such an ego? Where do you get off being so arrogant? Slob Kina, I've got a video with Slob Kina versus Kevin Samuels. You know, another magnificent thumbnail. Go check it out, please. She said in her attack on Mr. Samuels, she said that, who are you to tell a BW what she is? Use a 10. Hell, use a 25. You're a 25. Slob Kina did not have access to any of the women she was talking to. She could not see them, see their weight. She could not talk to them to determine whether or not they have a feminine disposition or not. She couldn't do any of that. She just blindly said that all the B-dubs listening to her broadcast were 25 out of 10. Now, I have no problem giving you a 25 out of 2,500, but out of 10, no, madam. Not even out of 100, most of you. Sorry. So sorry. And it's interesting. We not only talk about all these dozens of black boys when asked, they say, no, I don't want to date the B-dub. I don't want to date the B-dub. Her attitude, her attitude, her attitude. That's the main reason given. When I'm up on my stream again, I'll play the videos so you can see these dozens and dozens of young black boys saying, no, I don't date the B-dub. I don't date the B-dub. I don't date the B-dub. And the primary reason why is because of their horrible attitudes. Now, what's interesting is I had another thing I wanted to share. I guess Bernard's busy. My man 411 is in the chat. He emailed me a story. Now, I'm going to read the story to you. I can't show it to you, of course. My man Bernard is a little busy. But let's see here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to read this story to you. I couldn't believe it when 411 said it. I think he said it on my platform. It was Bernard's platform on Tuesday. I'm going to read this story to you, folks. I want you to listen very close to this because it's going to tie into another point I'm going to make, proving that the primary problem in the black community with the establishment of black family is the BW. Hands down. Not all of you ladies, just most of you. All right, so listen closely, folks. Detroit woman gets shot 4 times in the vagin. Yes, vagin stands for what you think it stands for. I'll read the title again. I want to wrap your heads around this, folks. Detroit woman gets shot 4 times in the vagin. And no, she wasn't shot in Virginia, in the Virgin. A Detroit woman, oh God, ad popped up. Give me 1 second. A Detroit woman was shot. Oh my God, you're not going to believe this. 411, tell them about this story, bro. A Detroit woman was shot 11 times and 4 of the bullets hit her vagin. The woman claims that the shooter was her wife of 12 years. Pump the brakes. You know, Wanda Sykes, Robin Roberts, Raven Simone, one of the founders of BLM. What's her name? Lori Lightfoot. All these, you know, perfectly fine lesbian ladies, top tier lesbians in America, in entertainment, in politics, in news broadcasting, in activism. You know, all of them are very successful women. Oh, there we go. I'll play that in a second, bro. I appreciate that. My man Marco Polo with the $9.99. Salute, sir. I so greatly appreciate it. Please hit my brother's super chat. Please, $2, $5, whatever you can do for his gracious hosting of the LilBigNate Show. Please, please, please do that. So my contention has been, you know, we have this very high level class of lesbian Black Americans who are upwardly mobile, some of them with net worth in the millions of dollars. Again, Wanda Sykes, Robin Roberts, Raven Simone, one of the founders of BLM, Lori Lightfoot, and several others. And these ladies have a thread of commonality running through their life. Do you want to know what it is? It's that they're all married to white women. What do you do when the Black lesbians are dating white women on you? You attack Black men for dating out. Do you attack Black women for the same? Here you have these high-level, highfalutin B-dub lesbians, very successful, plenty of dough being made, net worths in the millions, and they're choosing to marry white American women. Raven Simone, just about 8 months ago, was the latest to marry her sexy, copper-skinned, blonde-headed Beach Becky. ABW, who do you blame when it's wealthy Black women dating white women? Who do you blame? I'm curious. Let's go ahead and get to this video. Give me a second. Well, you can see the picture. I may not. Well, I don't know if I want to play the video. We'll leave the video alone. But here is the Chicago neighborhood with a bunch of B-dubs twerking on a police car. Look at that. And you can see the hair hat she has. It's blonde. Of course it would be. Why would a B-dub wear her own hair out of the house? Twerking on police cars. This is now a phenomena across our country that these wonderfully single BW raised BWs themselves are engaged in. You gotta love it, gentlemen. You gotta love it. Twerking on police cars. There were literally 6 videos of them twerking on police cars. 6 of them. And I didn't even dig. That's just what popped up when I first Googled it. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? This is what they've created, okay? I want to hear from especially that lady that was up on the platform back on Tuesday. I'd love for her. She couldn't explain the abortion issue. She couldn't properly address the issue of B-dubs. If you remove the single motherhood from Black crime stats, Black and white crime stats are almost identical. She couldn't answer that. She didn't answer a lot of questions that was asked of her. And I'm not attacking you, madam. I'm not attacking you at all. But you just fell short, especially for such a well-educated woman and someone, I think, who should have thought through her positions when you want to disparage Black men, when in fact, 75% of the problems that we deal with in Black America can be directly correlated to the decisions the BW makes. The terrible, ruinous decisions that she makes. Now, the reason for separation is not just the ladies, okay? It's not. It's not. There are some black men that are pretty damn terrible too. And I'm going to have a video represent that. And Bernard, don't worry, it's a well-known video of like what's become a meme of give me one second. It's a well-known video of a meme of a black guy crying. And I want to play it so, we understand exactly where I'm coming from. We know why we have to separate from the ABW, members of the sisterhood, which unfortunately represents anywhere from 50 to 70% of them. They are a group of destroyed nightmare women that is going to drag all of us as a people into hell with them. We got to separate. And imagine how much better America's going to be when we don't have at the helm of it a bunch of hateful, hair-hatted nightmare women determined to turn black boys into girls. All right. Let's see here. Black men crying. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Got a bunch of images of black guys in tears. Pretty sad. Pretty pathetic. But there's one particular video I want to play while I talk about the issues of dealing with the ABM and why we need to get rid and get away from as many of them as we can too. Bunch of ruined ABMs out here. There just are, folks. If I had to put a number on it, the completely ruined, completely ruined, let's say 20 to 30%. Completely ruined. There's nothing you're going to do with them. They're terrible and horrible people. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I gotta find the video. I'm crying. Give me a sec. Appreciate you all's patience. Black men crying on YouTube. That might take me to where I'm trying to go. Yeah, we're gonna don't go anywhere, ladies. We're about to talk about the black men. Yeah, here we go. It's one of my favorite videos. Brother Bernard, I have another video. Well, I have another thing I'd like you to share. Yeah, it's that video, dog. You crybaby niggas. I want to talk about y'all for a second too. Whenever you're ready, Bernard, I'm gonna share it. Let me share. Bada bing, bada boom. This is what I want to play while we're talking about the crybaby Negro man. All right. All right, Bernard, I got it up. Whenever you're ready to throw. There's my man. Salute. Mr. Riley, please hit that man on the super chats. Please, please. This is what I want you to hear while I talk about the ABM and how there's several of them we need to get away from too. Look at this. I gotta play that again. Cry baby niggas, boy. That is one of the funniest videos, dog. I don't know what possessed that man to cry out like that, but dude, that is, I gotta play it one more time, man. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and call Cash Apps before I go in on the pathetic, effeminate ABM. All right. Now, of course, brothers, I ain't talking about all of us, God damn it. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. You know I'm not talking about all of us. We're men. We're so much better than them. We make distinctions on who we're talking about when we attack somebody, when we attack a group of people. Very specific. All right? My man Cool Cat with the 10 ball. Thank you, sir. So greatly appreciated. Oh my God, Miss Fredema with the 20 ball. Now that earns you a stand in it with Ayanla, but I had to reboot, so I gotta go pull it up. But I'll get it up for you once we bring the folks up here. I'll find it just for you, beloved. No worries. My man C5B9 Mac with the 789. Salute. My man Mr. Holiday. Let me read this message. I ain't rich, just paying my way. My nigga, you don't have to be rich here. Just pay your way, brother. You pay whatever you can, whatever the content moves you to do. Salute, my nigga Holiday. Nigga, you could have put I was going to say $1, at least $2. I heard Angry Man say that once. He said, nigga, don't cash at me $1. If you can't cash at me $2, don't cash at me nothing. Just get yourself right and hit me when you're right. But my man, Mr. Holiday with the 5-ball salute. The Georgia Peach says, speak the truth with the 5-ball salute. My nigga Clue, a consistent purchaser of the Little Big Nate Show product with the 5-ball. Thank you, sir. The lovely Miss Martin, who happens to be with child. And make sure you tell me when you're about to deliver, Miss Martin. We'll have something special for you. With the 5-ball, thank you, madam. My man Arian, native Arian with the 10-ball, thank you. Ricardo Rodney with a 5-ball, thank you. My nigga Will with the 5-ball, thank you. And my man who hit me after hours with a 5-ball, my nigga Deacon Dave with the 5 spot. Thank you, folks. I thank you so much. Please don't stop hitting that Cash App. And also, please don't stop hitting my man Bernard Riley with the super chats, man. He's so gracious of a host to let me come up here. This brother did not have to do this. He could have said, nah, Nate, man. You bit too much of a firebrand, bruh. I don't need you putting my shit in. Oh, that was my first curse. I'm sorry. I don't need you putting my stuff in jeopardy. Oh, there's $100 in the curse jar. My apologies. But so gracious is this gentleman to let me come up. Please hit that man with the Cash Apps, y'all. But yeah, let's play it one more time before we begin. Nigga. You stupid nigga. Dog, we are not innocent in all this. Some of us are. Some of us haven't done anything wrong. Some of us have not used or abused one of these BWs. Me personally, I've never cheated on one. I was in a relationship with never once. And it's not out of some moral high ground that I stand on. My belief is that I don't want to give a woman any weapons that can harm me. I just don't. I don't believe in giving a woman a weapon that she could brutalize me with, and lying and cheating on a woman you're in a relationship with. All you're doing is giving her the ammunition to destroy you, to destroy your peace of mind. My man, Malcolm in the middle, 87 with the 5-ball. Thank you, brother. I need you other gentlemen to follow suit. Hit my man Beanard. Hit him, goddammit. Marco Polo with the 9.99. I think I did that. Oh my God, who's Georgia Peach? Let's see. Black Savannah. Okay, well, I don't know why you're timing folks out, but please let folks rock, as long as nobody's being too disrespectful. I don't like seeing people timed out. I don't really do. There's not a lot of timing out on my platform. I like people to be able to speak their minds. Absolutely. But let's talk about the ABM. I'm sorry, folks. I can't not do it. One more time. I love that shit, dog. I really do, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so, I got to hurry up. We're an hour and a half in. Okay, so we must separate. We have states that are attempting to secede. They see the writing on the wall, okay? Think about secession, brothers. Think if we could work with the Proud Boys and whoever else. I know some of you think they're racist. I don't personally think that, okay? Stop believing what the media tells you. If you haven't dealt with these men and interacted with them personally, I wouldn't draw that conclusion about them, brothers. Go to one of their rallies and see how they treat you. Nobody's going to shoot you in broad daylight. Calm down. But go talk to the men. I've talked to a couple of them. Okay. They've been at social functions that I was at. And I don't get an air of racism from them. Okay. But go talk to them. And if we could join forces with other like-minded men and begin the process of pushing our local politicians and our state representatives that go into DC for secession, getting away from this failed leftist culture. It's not that America's failed. America allowed herself to be taken over by the Luciferian left and the Democrat Party culturally, and she is literally allowing these monsters to rip her to pieces. The writing's on the wall. We can take our Constitution, we can take our norms and folkways and mores into our new established territory. We can build a wall from Virginia over Tennessee, over Oklahoma, over Arizona and New Mexico. I know New Mexico flips kind of back and forth, red and blue. If they want to be a part of this, great. If not, let them burn with the rest of blue America. We can build a wall around our brothers in Indiana, around our brothers in Ohio. Michigan, depending on how the wind blows, votes red most of the time, sometimes blue. We can build a wall around them too. And we can start a new America. Absolutely, we can. And one of the main reasons we're going to have to do that is because of the failed ABM. Again, I'm not talking about all brothers. I am talking about 20 to 30%. 20, 30% of ABM, American black men, are just hardcore loser, failure, trash. They make children with these disgusting monsters, examples like baby mama number 5, producing all these. How can you have 5 baby mamas? How does that even happen? How did Iyanla Van Zant do a broadcast of her show, Iyanla Fix My Life, from Memphis, Tennessee in 2014, and she had 6 black men? Again, listen to me. 6 black men who had 87 children with 50 American women. I don't know if they were all BWs. I don't know what they were. I can guarantee you most of them were. 6 black men, 87 children with 50 American women. How does that happen? How does that happen? I'll tell you how it happens. When these horrible women, these useless, worthless, strag hyena, shout out to Angry Man, I prefer the word jackal, a bunch of wild, untamed jackals who consume and destroy everything they touch. I'm talking about the ABWs in the sisterhood. I'm not talking about all of you ladies. How do you all end up laying with men that have 87 children with 50 different women? How is that possible? Because let me tell you why it's possible. Because those are the men you qualify for. Those are the only types of men you qualify for. Or when you're young and beautiful, those are the types of men you want. You want the worst black men. Feckless, impotent, inefficient losers. That BW loves losers. That's why she follows Derek Jackson. That's why she follows baby mama number 5. That's why she follows looks like another Tanya scam, TKO. That's why she followed Michaela Pink. The B-dub loves losers. She absolutely loves them. As long as you stroke her ego, she will follow you. God forbid you tell her the truth. God forbid you try to course correct her and tell her what's proper. God forbid. I can't blame brothers for doing what's in their best interest. And the difference between the BW marriage rate, which is 26%, and the ABM, American Black Man marriage rate, which is 32 to 33%, that's 6 to 7 percentage points. 7 to 8 percentage points represent almost 1 million men that have said goodbye to Black American culture. Goodbye. I don't need any parts of this shit. And more men are doing it every day. 30% of the best and brightest Black men that graduated from college are dating and marrying out now, which of course, again, is their perspective. You do whatever you choose to do, brother. I've never told anybody who to date. But I do have an interest in salvaging what I can of proper Black America as we move into this next phase of this American experiment, which I believe will involve secession. You know why the murder rate is up 50% in Atlanta, and that skunk of a woman, Keisha Lance Bottoms, can't explain it? You should have saw her tripping over her words. I'm not going to play the video, of course, on Brother Bernard's stream, but if you see the interview, she's bumbling and tripping over her words, trying to explain why the murder rate in Atlanta, Georgia is up 50% in the year 2020. And just like all other failure blue city leadership, especially the B-dub leadership, she can't explain it. How about the 50% increase in murders in Chicago? How about the 933% increase in crime in Portland, which is where we had the experiment of, what was it called? They took over 6 city blocks, Antifa and the other filth, trash, leftist scum. They took over 6 city blocks. I can't remember what they called it. I know Conservative remembers. I know he still remembers. Do you know that in Portland they have crack dispensaries? I am not lying. You can go to Portland today. Chaz, thank you, Brotherhood Conservative. Thank you. Chaz was the name of the experiment where there were several grapes of women, several sexual assaults of women. There were 2 murders of young Black men in this beautiful utopian experiment run by a bunch of leftist ghoul scum known as Antifa. I hope you leftists will come up and defend this. I really do. I look forward to hearing from you, gentlemen. But in the city of Portland, brothers, you can now go buy crack from a crack dispensary. Let's have a round of applause for the Luciferian left and all they're able to accomplish. All they're able to accomplish. Come on, folks. I need you to get those super chats up. Hit my man Bernard Riley. $2, $5, whatever you can spare. We pay our way, brothers. That's what we do. Crack dispensaries in a city that has seen a 933% increase in crime. Gotta love those blue state shitholes, don't you, baby? Don't you? And that's what they want to do to the rest of our country. They want to turn it into Portland. Oh, Chaz was in Seattle? My bad, Trey. I thought Chaz was in Portland. My bad. Northwestern, just, Washington State, all the states, Northeast corner, just terrible. Well, not the whole state, but many of the cities are just Luciferian leftist experiments, with their sanctuary cities. Many of them are in the Northwest. And now in the city of Portland, you can buy crack from a dispensary on the street. Gotta love the left, boy. I hope all you stratosphere Black men can come up and help me understand why this is a good thing. I hope you can come up and defend the policies of the Democrat Party in our country today. But much of the crime that's been committed, the 50% increase in murders in Atlanta, the 50% increase in murders in Baltimore, the 50% increase in murders in Chicago, the 37% increase in murders in America. You heard me right. There has been a 37% increase in murders in America from 2019 to 2020. 37%. How many innocent Americans have been murdered by the Luciferian left, the defund the police movement, and BLM? How many innocent Americans have died? How many? What number of Americans does that 37% number represent? How many tens of thousands of Americans probably? Well, not tens of thousands, but thousands of Americans does that represent? I can't wait to see the murder stats for 2020 and 2021. I cannot wait. And what we need to do, gentlemen, because it's young black men raised by their failures of single mothers, not all of you, madam, but most of you are miserable failures at raising your children. You are not equipped. You are not prepared. You are not built to raise children by yourself. So you produce a scourge of failed young men and women. You saw the example of the young women, these hair-hatted ghouls twerking on police cars all over the country. It's the new fad for the BW. And now we have single mother-raised Negro boys committing murder at rates that haven't been seen since the crack epidemic in the 80s and the terrible spike in crime that was followed into the 90s. Excuse me. What a goddamn nightmare. You see on my thumbnail groups of people walking towards something new. There's a horizon. You see George Jefferson, George Jefferson and Wheezy are my favorite sitcom couple. I am George Jefferson, basically, just as a single dad. But I've identified with George Jefferson ever since I was a little boy. Ever since I was a little boy. My dog, Kenneth Williams, with the $20 ball. Yes, sir, for my brother Bernard Riley. Portland public school districts tell elementary school children that they have the choice to choose their gender. I want you stratosphere black men, because right now we on your necks, niggas. I want you to come up and defend your Democrat policies, you filthy, dirty, strag nigga trash. Get your monkey ass up here and defend it. Defend telling 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds they can choose their gender. You monsters. If you vote blue, that's what you're voting for. It's just what you're voting for, folks. I'm sorry. Let's run this again, and I'll finish things up. Also, I'll be calling the Cash App shortly, brothers, ladies. That's what you niggas are doing now that you got to defend voting for Biden. Let's hear it again. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what you all got to deal with, having voted for a man who can barely put together a sentence, all out of your pathetic, effeminate emotions. 30% of you are doomed. You filthy, dirty little Negro boys. You're disgusting. You get on panels crying about white supremacy, crying about racism. Racism that you can't even tell me that you've experienced, you stupid, feckless, worthless Negro boys. You can't even give me examples of the racism you faced, you dumb nigga. You live vicariously through other dumb niggas who got killed by the police, engaged in all sorts of criminal behavior. Because you can't point to much racism in your own life. Right, sir? You pathetic, pillow-biting losers. That's what you are. You are the pillow biters. Do you know what a pillow biter is? A pillow biter is, okay, I imagined under what set of circumstances would a grown man be biting on a pillow with his face in it? Okay? I could only think of one. You know, him with his little caboose tooted up in the air, getting pile driven by a lover. And I would imagine a black man or any man would bite down on a pillow getting reamed from the rear. So since we have to watch our language, even though I've seen brothers use the F-bomb, I'm not going to use it. I'm a little worried to use it, to be honest. But I've seen Tommy. I've seen plenty of dudes. I've seen Jap. I've seen a bunch of dudes use the F-bomb, but I'm going to refrain from it. I decided to come up with a word that could stand in the place of the F-bomb. And that's the term pillow biter. Yes, sir. JR loves that. I don't know why, but he loves it. But what we need to do, because 50 to 70% of the ABW is ruined, and a good 20 to 30% of the ABM is ruined, is pack up our shit and get as far away from these monsters as we can. We need to separate. I have been in this space for a little over a year, begging us to separate. Separate, not unity. No. How are you going to unify with these monsters? You want to attach their inoperable caboose to our fully functional train cars, and I say no. Let these monsters perish in their welfare, in their dependency, in their hatred of a country that has more opportunities for them than they could shake a stick at, but they don't care. They were raised by a failed woman who taught them to be the masculine version of her. And there's nothing we can do with them. Nothing. It is over. It's over, gentlemen. Our future rests in what we can make going forward. They are not going to stop till all your boys are in dresses. They are not going to stop until each one of your daughters hate men. And they have so abused their bodies, there's nothing a competent man can do with them. They will be ruined women. And there's nothing we have for ruined women over here. Secession is what we need to do. You get with your brothers, you get with men of other races in your community who want to separate, and we need to get busy doing it. Like I said, that border will run from Virginia over Tennessee, over Oklahoma, over Arizona. Everything south of our wall will be protected by us. And let these blue states destroy themselves. We'll put a wall around Ohio. We'll put a wall around Indiana. If if Michigan's on board, we'll put a wall around Michigan. New Mexico, we'll see what happens. God damn it. It's time to separate. Thank you. This concludes the monologue section of this broadcast. I apologize to you for the mistakes that were made, the setbacks. No worries. I want to hear from you now, brothers, ladies. If you're so inclined, please come up. I so greatly appreciate it. Here we go. Here's the StreamYard link. It is pasted. Feel free to come up. Brother Bernard, if you could make arrangements to put the brothers on, or the ladies, I would so greatly appreciate it. In the meantime, I'm going to play this a couple more times. You crybaby niggas! You white supremacy crybaby niggas! Can't stand you niggas, dog. I cannot stand you, man. I'm be honest with you. Ain't nothing worse than to hear some grown man up in his fucking feeling. I'm sorry, Bernard. In his effing feelings because the white man don't like me. The white man won't take better care of me. And it hurts my feelings. I came to this space saying this stuff. My very first stream after what I did with Brother Xavier was why I'm voting for Donald Trump. This was over a year ago, I believe. Well, about a year ago. And several times during that broadcast, I said, why do you care what white people think about you? Why do you care so much what white folks think about you? Why are you so worried whether or not the white man likes you or not? It's disgusting to hear grown men talking like that. And I've called you niggas out several times. Your weakness is an embarrassment to us. And it is not to be tolerated. Now, you got a problem with something I've said, you get yourself up here and address me directly. Don't bitch in the chat, you pillow biter. Come on, brothers, make your way up. Well, I can't even see if brothers are coming up. I'm sorry. God, it's so crazy trying to work this. I'm going to play it one more time, then I'll let it go. I'm sorry, folks. You effeminate niggas, boy. I can't stand you. I cannot stand you, man. But Brother Bernard, if there's brothers in the chat, in the back chat, I would so greatly appreciate you bringing them up. Thank you, sir. I hope I didn't catch you eating a bowl of Fruity Pebbles or chowing down on a McRib or something. If you could just come back to the stream, and anybody that might be in the back chat, Brother Bernard, I greatly appreciate you letting them up. You know, as a content creator, I hate the weird silence and awkwardness of waiting for people to come up. Like, what do you say? What do you do? You know, it's really weird. Also, we got a 10 spot from my man Marco Polo. Thank you, sir. Please, folks, hit my man Bernard with the super chats. It's very important that I make money for this man. Very, very, very important. If it comes down to you splitting a $10, please do that. I want this brother to get half of it, okay? Super chats go to my man Bernard. Cash apps come to me. Please don't be stingy. Hit my man off because he did not have to do this. I'm going to text him. I don't know if he's not listening right now or what's going on. Let me text him real quick. Bernard. Guys ready to come up. Guys ready to come up. Don't go anywhere, folks. There's no reason for you to leave. You know, my monologue is just half of the burning of the barn. We let the brothers come up here and burn it down with me, God damn it. And of course, any ladies that would like to come up, you know I treat ladies well. As long as you follow protocol, beloved, we'll be fine. I just texted him, so hopefully he'll be coming through. Unless there's nobody that wants to come up. Maybe there's nobody that wants to come up. I don't know. But let me drop this link again for my brothers and all the lovely ladies who might want to partake in this. Let's do it one more time. What in the blood clot is this? This is a Assist a Brother broadcast. Toronto guy. This is called the Assist a Brother broadcast. All right. What's happened is the baby mama number 5, she copyright struck my channel. There was no hate speech issues. There was nothing. I was cooking that creature and cooking the little pasty creature that was helping her attack black men. And she got my channel struck because I was playing her video. So I got a 7-day suspension. That is just about over. It'll be over either Saturday or Sunday. And in the meantime, you see, I'm a problem solver. I don't allow anybody to silence me. Okay. So I reached out to my brother Bernard, and he gave me the opportunity to use his platform for my Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and possibly Sunday broadcast, depending on whether I'm still hemmed up or not. So that's the story, Toronto guy. And that's it in a nutshell.
Get the fuck.
Okay, we got some folks up here. Good deal. Good. Oh, my man, Sir Tyson is bitch. Thank you, sir. Good to see
Hey, man,
you.
I need to go. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, do your thing.
Okay, I gotta do something on Zave's channel.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, for those who want to hear whatever something about the STEM fields, feel free to come over to the Zave's channel once Nate is done. I'm shocked that you didn't actually reference what's going on with Gwen Berry and how there was no commentary on it with the so-called BET Awards. You know, you familiar
actually, dude, I'm not privy to what you're talking about. Let me know what's going on.
Okay, so I'm not looking at the chat, so I don't know if people are agreeing, but okay, one of the things, before I get into Gwen Berry, one of the things that's very intriguing to me about many stateside Black people and how they react to the media. I shouldn't say they, because I'm a part of that group. So, but I don't react that way. That's why I'm removing myself from that. Okay.
Understood.
And by the way, you got a live one in the chat right now too, or whatever. By the way, according to this particular
person, well, tell me who it is. Tell me who it is.
Why don't you read the chat? I don't mean to say that.
Yeah, I got a lot of moving parts here, bro. I got a lot.
Yeah, I know, but no. Apparently, you're an agent, with all your trigger words. But that said,
I'm an agent. Trigger words. What does that mean?
Well, the term that you use when you sleep, put your head on something, when you go to sleep. All these are trigger words, and you're gonna get Bernard's channel struck. And
that's why I'm here to get Bernard's channel struck. Pillow Biter's gonna get his channel struck.
Well, anyway, let me get back to my point.
Oh my God.
No. Let me say this very simply, because I haven't gotten Zave's email yet, anyway, so I can ramble on until no. But seriously, why is it? And I'm speaking generally. Why is it that we have so many Black people looking to the very same media since Birth of a Nation, since motherfuckers want to talk about agents and things and propaganda, since Birth of a Nation, that has maligned the Black male image to a T? Why are you looking for these same entities to correct that image? So what's happening with the BET Awards should be expected. Heck, it's damn near 100 years. Wasn't it Birth of a Nation about 1915, 1912? One of those things. I know it was during the Woodrow.
Yeah, late in
right. Okay, so late. But it's during the, so hell, we're like damn near 100 plus years.
Yeah, absolutely.
The point is that it's very consistent with what they've done. So this is to be expected. But what I was making a correlation with Gwen Berry, somebody's coughing in the background.
Yeah, you need to mute it, or I'm gonna have to take you down.
So
mute it, or I'm taking you down. Okay, thank you.
So the correlation I was making. Wow, they're disgusting with my commentary.
You're gonna get taken down if you don't mute yourself.
No. Anyways, no. Hey, maybe they ate something and it went down the wrong pipe. No big deal. But it was just kind of distracting. No, but Gwen Berry is this person. There's qualifying for the Olympics, right? We know what happens during the Olympics. The anthems play, right? For whatever country you're representing.
Right now I know.
Okay, so now the young lady, she basically and shout out to Hood Conservatives, aka Dave Monroe. He did a whole entire feature on this, but. If you want to go to his channel, I saw him in the chat. But basically, she turned. Here. Let me say this: if you're not familiar with it, just go look it up. Why are people fine? Let's just say you're the best lefty activist there is. You're using the same tactics from 53 years ago.
Wow.
Okay. You're not John Carlos. You're not Tommy Smith, who is actually going back to cities where they're rioting in, okay? You're someone who's training for free at these facilities. Shout out to G Dizzle, who did a feature on this also too. I saw him in the chat too. You're going back to these cities. You got a free education, but America is bad and all this. And I know some people are saying, "Oh, you a coon, whatever. America got issues too." I never said it wasn't perfect, but any track and field athlete, particularly since that's the common sport that's associated with the Olympics, knows what the procedure is when you win something at the Olympics, right? So she's just making a point of whatever, basically it's attention seeking. That's all it is, because no one gives a damn outside of track and field nerds like me. Nobody gives a damn about her making a protest, and then she pulled out a shirt from nowhere that said activism. And then when she was questioned about it, she was basically saying, "I didn't say I didn't love America. I love my people. I love my people." Well, sweetheart, if you love your people,
monsters are the most selfish people in the world. But if she loved her people, then she'd recognize it's her people that built this place, okay? That have, if not anything, more license to this than anyone else. If you want to go there, fought in every war, fought in the front line of every war, built the infrastructure. I mean, I could go on and on and on. You love to talk about sports and entertainment. Fuck all that shit. We've done every other thing. I'm sorry. Pardon my language. No. Because I get tired of how our role gets minimized to just these entertainment aspects things, okay? And it's much more than that. But the reason my segue into, or I should say how I was combining this into the BET Awards, was if her cause was so righteous, you'd have one of these, as you refer to them as, this is not my term, one of these Luciferian performers that would have name dropped her or shouted her name. But no, they're the ones who are on script, delivering all those demonic messages and things of that nature. And like I said, I haven't had BET since the early 2000s. Last thing I remember was Uncut. You ain't had it in forever.
Was Uncut.
One second, Sir Tice. Let me holler out. We got a 5-ball from my man Toronto guy. He thanks for the clarifying. Just fix your issues, bro. I don't have any issues. Why don't you come up here and we can talk about the issues? Come on up here. I just dropped the link again. Come on, fellas.
Well, I doubt that you'll get any. By the way, you don't have to go into the name calling or anything.
No,
I'm just saying.
I got this.
Let the facts go. I don't always agree with you. You
don't have to. No,
I don't want to. You don't know. My point is,
nigga.
Right. I don't know how we're gonna do Sunday. Since it's that anti holiday of this country. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
July 4th. Racism.
Right. The nerve of us. Even though people have been doing it their whole life. Now suddenly they're woke. Oh, wait a minute. It's not an election year, so they can actually eat their barbecue, enjoy their families, all that thing, I've been rambling on enough. You got another brother that I'm not familiar with. I need to check with Zave and see.
Well, if you can come back or you got a little more time, absolutely, man. Come back up.
Yeah, I'm going to hang out until Zave sends me the link, so I'll be on mute.
Okay, well, just hold tight. We're going to be introduced to this gentleman here. Bro, can I get your name?
My name is J Speed, SPWD Speed, and everybody call me OG.
J Speed, I'm familiar with you. How can I help you, sir? What do you want to
What's up, OG J Speed? Salute to you. I definitely know you, so I didn't recognize your icon. So salute to you.
Yes, sir.
Even though I'm sure we'll disagree, but understood. Yes, just wanted to acknowledge you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Go ahead, J Speed.
We might not disagree as much as you think we might disagree.
Cool,
we're both well, I was a former NOI, if you can believe that too. So
yes,
all right. I didn't know. I'm sorry, Bernard.
Yes.
All right, I need to go back.
Go ahead, Jay.
Okay. Believe it or not, I did a link a show on this BET award last night, and pretty much 90% of the things you said, I would say 98% of the things you said, I agree along with it. One totally. I'm not Republican or Democrat, left wing, right wing. You can't even put me in a square like that. I think for myself. So, it's like this. Number one is there are some things. And let me start with the few things I do disagree with you.
Sure.
And the first thing I disagree with you is defunding the police department. They need to be defunded. And I'm talking about the ones who have military tactic machinery and stuff like that. We don't need to have that on our police force, because that cuts down the line of communication in the first place. Because if you're going in like you are military, the military is made to kill. They're not made to go over there and play with people, or they're not made to go be ambassadors towards people. So we can't have that kind of mindset when we have citizens who join the police department and who want to patrol our streets and who want to protect and serve. So that's where I would disagree with that. I think some of them have to be going into it and look at exactly where they are, and then you go from there. Now, for all police departments to be defunded, no, I wouldn't grill on with that. But I'm talking about the ones who depends on the federal government, brings in military type machinery. We just don't need that on our police department.
Can I respond? I want to respond to each one of your points. All right.
Yes, sir.
It'll be me and you. Now, I disagree with you on that, even though I didn't talk about the militarization of police departments. The criminals are so well armed, so incredibly well armed, many times more well armed than local police. I have no problem with some aspects of our military equipment, military intelligence being used when dealing with these terrible criminals. We have syndicates of child enslavement, child sexual enslavement, females that are being abducted. There are the mafias here, what is it called? The guys in Mexico, the crime.
The 13,
like MS-13, but the cartels. Yes. The cartels are here. There's huge organized business that's bringing in illegals for prostitution and drugs coming across the border. I want local police to have access to all they'll need to fight that. Now, are they having to use it against regular American citizenry? Yeah. If you get a bunch of stupid leftist BLM trash that want to burn down the businesses of hardworking Americans, I say bring the tanks in and let those tanks roll right over them. Let me finish.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
If you want to exercise your First Amendment right of protest, no problem with that. But your destruction of people's personal property is not protected by the First Amendment. It's not protected by any amendment. And if you want to burn down people's businesses, homes, and their cars, we need to roll right over you.
Okay. And I would say that's why you have different layers of government. That's why when you do have that type of force, that's why you call in the FBI, who can go anywhere in the world or anywhere in the United States, and they could bring that kind of machinery. Don't have to have that at your exposure just because you want it at your exposure. Because number one, I don't believe the police is trained good enough to sometimes deal with their own 9mm or the M14 or the M16, whatever they're carrying out in their car, much less having military tactic machinery in the first place. That's why you do have different layers of enforcement. You have the FBI, you have the other drug enforcement officers in this country, and don't act as if they don't do a collab and come together in the first place. So why would you need that at your exposure?
Because the criminals that are in this country are so well armed.
That's been used as an excuse, my brother. Listen to that.
Oh, sir. I let you rock, sir. Let me finish.
Okay, well, it's the only thing you have to do is call me out, and brother, you have no aggression with me, okay? Bro, I'm 61 years old. You don't have no aggression with me, so I'm just saying we can have a conversation.
Well, you got to let me talk. Okay, so the wicked are so well armed in this country. I have absolutely no problem. How often do local police even have to call on them? They get called on because we have streets full of criminals destroying people's personal property and putting their lives in jeopardy. I'm sorry. If the military coming into some of these communities where murder is up by 50%, I'd like you to address that, OJ. Don't put me in
the OJ square.
No, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. My apologies.
I understand. You ain't the first person.
J Speed.
Number one is.
Let me finish.
You told me to address that. I thought you.
No.
Go ahead.
I haven't gotten it all out yet. Just give me a second. 50% increases in murder in Atlanta, in Chicago, in Baltimore, 30% increases in cities, in several cities in Newark, New Jersey, several cities in New Jersey. New York has seen an explosion in crime and murder over the summer. Over almost 24 Black children were murdered because of the defund the police movement. I would absolutely love the military to come in and mow down the people that would engage in that behavior. Go ahead.
Well, I think that's a little extreme. In the first place, I think we are in a totally different time, in a totally different place. Everything is reset. Where we at with this macaroni virus that we have on this planet right about now, they keep changing the cheese. I think you have to include that in. I think you have to include that in what's going on with people mindset. I think anytime you have a traumatic experience, not only just local, but international, there's minds go change. There's things go change. We know what happens in extreme situations. I think you have to include all that in it. I think you just can't say that is because one thing. I think you have to really bring in some balance on that and say that it could be a multitude of things that are making these things increase like that.
Okay. Well, it's no problem. You'll find, I don't know if you've ever been to my channel or.
I will. I'll be. Matter of fact, I will go to the channel and I will subscribe to it, and I will support it, even if we do disagree. I still support Black channels.
I appreciate that, J Speed. If you know anything about Black conservatives, we don't hate you because we disagree. But I've seen, and you've seen numerous panels where simple disagreements have Black men screaming at each other at the top of their lungs. We don't do that.
Yes, sir.
You disagree, and it's no problem. What else did you disagree with? Then we're going to get
I just wanted to let you know that before you start putting me in the square, I'll probably be more conservative than anything if I had to choose anything, because that's where I come from. That's the way I was raised. I come from a two-family home, and I come from a home with a grandmother. I come from the South, so before there was a time that my family was conservative, before this change of going into Democrats in the first place. Lincoln made a lot of us conservatives back in the day. So this is just a new change, and it's going on, and it's gone on too long, because I don't believe neither party has your best interest. You got to do for yourself. You got to go out there and pull your own self up by your bootstrap and do for yourself. I just feel that way.
Understood. Absolutely. Is there anything else that you disagree? Okay.
No, I told you we only had maybe
one couple of things. All right. Good deal, J Speed. Appreciate that. Sir, if you could introduce yourself and what do you have to add to the conversation?
Hello, my name is Mr. O, straight from Chicago. I'm pretty much of new content, I guess you could say analysis, or a person that partakes into the manosphere recently. You're
new here. Okay, good deal.
Yeah, I've been on the sidelines watching the content creators for the past year and a half, just going through, see who's really about this movement and who just want to use this to make some clout and some money.
Understood. What is your opinion on what you heard from me, and do you have anything else that you could add to it?
Well, so far, great stream, by the way. I wish VR was on here, but great stream, by the way, especially talking about this BET Awards, or I like to call it a modern day minstrel show of debauchery and violence and stuff. And I'm 34 years old, so I'm considering myself as a millennial, earlier millennial. So I have a little bit more wisdom and mature, but I have to say that my generation, we really dropped the ball. We was the first group of kids that grew up in all types of dysfunction from two previous generation of parents or grandparents, and we dropped the ball because we knew better, and we was the first ones to get introduced to information and technology. So we had the mind and the will to go ahead and learn and do better, and we failed because we want to be monkey see, monkey do, as you see on the BET show. I did not see no type of entertainment that would want me to go ahead and participating in some type of artistic creativity after watching such things. What I watched was basically just porn. I'm sorry about porn. I gotta use since we on YouTube, porn.
Adult entertainment.
I seen a man try to give Michael Jackson a big ups for his Remember the Time video, but instead of doing it properly, he used it to sexualize himself and
destroy us.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So how was that? How can I say this? A big up to the ancestor when you out here not supporting and representing what he was trying to intentionally originally trying to do. He was trying to open your eyes and tell you that you had a history and not the one they was trying to bombard you and saying this is who you are. He was trying to show you that this is where you came from. It's up to you to determine who you are.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. What should be our response? I want to hear from both of you gentlemen. What should we have to do something? If we don't do anything, we deserve everything that we get. Everything.
Well, I wholeheartedly agree, but what I'm gonna say is gonna hurt a lot of feelings because they know it's the truth deep down inside. Well, we're gonna have to let some people just go ahead and die off.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know Kevin Samuels has talked about they're gonna die alone, but I'm actually telling people like this is actually a nature reset. Like nature is, in itself, even God, he could do so much, but nature in itself is really mad at this world that we have made into. So it has to correct itself. So if you got friends or family or even yourself that want to participate in stuff that's going to make black people go back 100 years. I mean, we already went back 50 years just over 2010. Now we in 2020, we about to go back 100 years. Do y'all really want to go back into the plantation lifestyle, minus the whips, minus the lynching? You just going to be a third-class citizen in your own land. They're basically going to give us reservations like they did the Native Americans. Do y'all really want to go and be that?
So what should we do?
We have to separate. Like Malcolm said back in the 50s and 60s, separation, because we see what Martin Luther King dream has transpired. Ain't this wasn't his dream? Did his kids be able to go to the same school with these other kids and hold hand in hand? What happened? Was we able to still get our foot in the door into these corporations and to these other institutions where we was not allowed, and we was into these institutions? Did we even rise up? Did we even make a name for ourselves, or we just became more of a the modern day stepping and fetching?
Oh, let me ask you this, brother. You brought up Malcolm's call for separation. That was largely based on race. Is your call for separation based on that also? And if it is, just say so. Or is it based on ideology?
Ideology.
Okay. And then
now the reason why I say ideology
on that, Jack.
Yep.
Absolutely.
See, ideology. See, you could have as many positive black people in the community, but they only gonna still make up a small fraction because we let dysfunctional ingrates run our community, basically be the forerunner of our culture, if you want to call it a culture. Pookie, Ray, Keisha, all of them are basically the scope is on them. The microscope is on them. Everybody want to know what they're doing, but they don't care about what the Oprah Winfrey's of the future Oprah Winfrey's of the world doing, what the future Robert Johnsons of the world about to do. Because we don't get no shine. We don't even get no kudos or a pat on the back. But that time is over with. If you want to go ahead and save the black race or build up a new society for black people, you have to disconnect yourselves from the dysfunction and the ratchet stuff that we have participated in the last 40 years on this country. And if you try to go ahead and find some leeway, say, oh, well, they just need some help. I'm like, look, we are in the age of information.
Exactly.
Look, we have BET. We have all these recorded, documented evidence from previous decades. If you choose not to go ahead and change your behavior for the sake of your children, for the sake of your community, you are a race traitor. You cannot tell me that you want to twerk and go ahead and do all this stuff in front of different kinds of men, but we supposed to go ahead and protect you. You cannot tell me.
Absolutely.
You cannot tell me you my brother. I'm supposed to look at you as my friend, and I'm worried about you gonna shoot me, gonna have me set up, or any other kind of crazy stuff because you want to get a bag, want to get some clout. Separation from low vibrational people is the main goal of 2021 and going into 2022. And I've been stepping away from trying to go ahead and criticize the women, but I'm going back harder on us men because we are the first dudes, we are the leaders, and we can't even tell ourselves like come on, bro, we need to go ahead stop doing this. They
all
doing
right. Absolutely. What's your name again?
My name is Mr. O.
Mr. O, that's your YouTube moniker.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
O. Okay. Make sure you subscribe, man. Once you come to my channel. Again, I've never seen you before, heard of you, but definitely subscribe because, I'd like to see you on my platform once it's back operating either Sunday or Tuesday. Jay Speed.
Most definitely.
I appreciate that. J Speed, what would you say should be our response? I want to know exactly what we should do in response to BET telling the world this is what represents Black men in America.
I think, and it's a good question. I think sometimes we have so short a memory when it comes to tactics that we can use, free thinking men can use, and free thinking people just in general can use that can take something like this situation right here and then turn it into turn it around on its head. Reason why I say that the Democrats and the left wingers, the one that you speak of, they do have tactics, and these tactics have worked. And what we can do as an individual, we can find out the sponsors of these shows. We don't have to go and pick it. We can just pick up, write a damn letter. Now, we want to be real with this.
Write an email.
Email too, but I'm telling you, the letters work better.
Oh, you're talking email? Old school. You're talking old school. Okay.
Yes. And all right. When you start writing letters to their sponsors and emails, see, they can't deny both. See, somebody can deny they ever got an email. Don't represent anything. But they start getting baskets and baskets of letters of your displease of this bastardized entertainment TV that y'all call BET. I call it bastardized entertainment television. When you understand that even the previous owner, Bob himself, is looking for reparation. Now, that's an article that just came out last week that he's saying he's looking for his reparation check. Well, what I'm saying is, you can write these letters, people, and you can give them your dismay of what you thought and what you were seeing, and it was actually what you're seeing, because I do believe that these consonant people, because they don't want to use the vowels, these consonant people, they do want our children next, because these award shows were set up for family. And look where they're at now. I used to work at Magic City and in a couple other strip clubs when I was an early part DJ, in the early part of my life in the 80s. I'm 62 years old. Well, I'm going on 62 next week.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And what I say is, I see all this. I see the things that works on both sides. And if it's something works, go ahead and tweak it and make it work for you. We can set up and we can make these YouTube videos and we can talk about it. And we can get the hoorah and all that and kumbaya together. But until we take some actions, that nothing is never going to happen, because they're going to think you're pleased with what you've seen. Because only person they hear from is the people who standing up in the crowd with all these hair hats and, and clapping their hands. Because one thing I do know about the consonant people, that they do like to hang around women, and women like for them to hang around them, because that's who they want to be. And I don't know I guess the women look at them non-threatening in the first place. So you're not going to ask me for anything so I can hang with you.
You're actually right, though. I'll go ahead. And
so what I say, that I would like to see that happen and I have already started writing letters. You didn't have to ask me. And I got 10 of my other friends who have written letters and emails, because this is a campaign strategy I learned way back in the 90s that worked for that left wing. So we can't do that as individual people. We want to change. Sponsors are the ones who allow these shows to be on TV, because with no sponsors, you ain't having no damn show. Your shit is getting canceled.
All right.
And I would like, my separation would be totally black. I'm sorry.
Okay,
it's different. It would be totally black, because I think ever since we've been turned loose free, we have never had the time to ourselves to know who we is or know ourselves.
Okay, no problem. No problem. All right, we've been joined by my man, Melly Mel. I'm going to ask another question. We're going to go round robin. I said during my monologue that these ABWs, and not all, the ones in the sisterhood, those are the ones that I have zero consideration for.
85% of them. So basically, to say 85% of the black ABW population.
We all got our numbers, Mr. O. We all got our.
I'm from Chicago, so I'm biased.
Okay. Understood. I want to hear from each one of you gentlemen. How do you react to the fact that after that nightmare of a performance by Lil Nas X, the people that I saw them pan to the audience, and the people that clapped were primarily B-dubs. The same B-dub that complains that there are so few adequate suitors for her out here in the public. But they cheer men tonguing down other men.
Can I go first?
Absolutely. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, I want to go.
All right. So this is the deal. The alphabet community or the consonant brigade, what my man just said, they fear masculinity just like the ABWs. See, masculinity is not just how can I say, a physical thing. It's a spiritual essence and an energy thing. See, when you have a strong masculine presence and masculine energy, you can be felt before you enter the room. So when a person that does not have self-control over themselves, like a normal man with masculinity, they have to be in a chaotic situation. It's basically like if you drop a rock into a still river, you want that rock make it a wave, make it change in the environment. That's the same way when you go into a room filled with hyenas and you're a lion. When a hyena see a lion, they try their best ways to go ahead and project that they're tougher than a lion, they're stronger than a lion, even with strength in numbers. But what they find out is it'll take 15 hyenas to take down that one lion. What we saw with that incident with Lil Nas X, they applaud the defeat of the black man's strength. They see Nas X as a strong black man only physically, but when they see him gyrate and do all this stuff with another man, they was happy to know that he was not strong enough to take on them.
All right. So, what do you see? Do you admit that there's a contradiction, a terrible contradiction by these women?
Absolutely, because that's why I love being a millennial. I love Gen Xers and y'all and the baby boomers. So this is how I say like this to the sisters. All right, ladies, I'm 34 years old, and all through my life, all I seen was misguided little boys. The same little boys around my age that y'all so-called want to call swags, they got swag. They know how to take care of me, even though you never see them in a fist fight. You see him with a gang of guns, but he ain't got no marksmanship.
They hold the gun sideways.
Yeah, yeah. You want to go ahead. This will be really killing me. Do you understand what majority of these women get their vernacular, their so-called womanly way
from the alphabet folks?
Yep, they got it from the drag queen community. So when they start saying yas and hunty stuff, they got that from that community 4 decades ago. So in essence, when you actually put a real American black woman next to a alphabet cross-dresser, you can't even separate the two.
It's crazy.
Now,
it's getting to that point. It's getting to that point, especially with the copious amounts of makeup and the wigs. They're literally, and Minister Jap has talked about this ad nauseum.
Oh, yeah, I'll be on Mr. Jap.
They are looking like the Transformers. That's exactly what so many of them are looking like today.
Yeah, they is. I'm the 773 caller become on Jap, but go ahead, bro. I'm sorry about that.
Good deal. All right, well, we've been joined by my man Melly Mel. If you could answer the question, if you could speak to the content that you heard in the monologue, or if you want to speak to the question of how do these women applaud this behavior while out of one side of their mouth and then out of the other side complain about not having enough ABMs to marry.
Well, I'm gonna address this. I'm so glad I did not watch the BET Awards. I've seen pictures, heard about it, but I stopped supporting BET a long time ago, probably back early 2000s and stuff. Even when I was so content, didn't even realize why I stopped watching it, and now I understand the big jib why I stopped supporting BEG. Also, too, especially that Boondocks episode when they banned it. The 2 Boondocks episode when he was making fun of it, but there was a message behind it. And I did some research myself like 2 weeks ago. Didn't even realize who was the person behind the changes of BET when Bob Johnson sold and left. Had to be that devil BW, but she was, and I was
Deborah Lee. Deborah Lee's been at the helm for like 15 years, I think.
She destroyed the channel where it really was, man. Yeah, like, and you know, and it's pathetic, and stuff, you know. So for it to come to this far, the way it is, I think the other brother just alluded. Let him fall. I said let these most majority of these black women fall and focus on the ones that want to follow us. We start building our own utopias. We can't save everybody. We can't save our own people.
Facts.
I mean, I'm realizing this now, like, you know, in another way. What culture do those blacks really have? I think if you date back to the slavery days, I think that's when we really gave up our culture. I remember the scene from Roots. I was watching when it was like the older Kunta Kinte when he was on the run. He met one of another slave girl that he was into, and he spoke to her in their African language, and then she acted like she didn't understand him, and she had to explain to him like, I gave up that side of me a long time ago and stuff. And well, he was calling her by her actual real name. He's like, I don't go by that name no more. And it's just hitting me when you was just know in your mind, because it's like, what culture does blacks really have? Because we spent so much years giving up our old culture the way we did and keep redefining a new one just for things even be more and more worse.
Our culture is chaos and anarchy. And
exactly.
Not only do I blame Deborah, I blame every black person's golden boy since the year 2000. Everybody been posting him up, made him to one of the biggest names in Hollywood, and took Hollywood to Atlanta. I blame this guy. Yeah, everybody want to go ahead and say like he ain't do nothing bad. He just showing us about who. Yeah, he's showing who y'all exactly are. A failure. Tyler Perry. I blame him.
Wow, very interesting.
It's sad. Like, you know, I want to support Tyler Perry for what he's doing, but part of me is like, you know, I can't put too much energy into that. I see what has become of it. Like, you know, it's too much pandering, too dysfunctional. It's like, damn, it's like,
but one of his most recent movies that came out, black women were incredibly angry about the movie.
Oh, the twat they had too.
Which one was it? I forgot what it was. Yeah,
it was Acrimony?
What's that?
What's the name?
Was it called Acrimony?
I'm not sure.
It was. Yeah.
That was the one when the black woman had an affair, something like that. I didn't see that movie. I heard about
the one who played in Baby Boy. What was her name? I forget it. What was her name?
AJ Johnson.
No, not AJ Johnson.
Taraji P. Henson.
Yeah,
Taraji P. Henson.
Yeah, she was the one. Yeah, it came out about 2 years ago. And there was a movie. He did another movie before, and I must say this. I got to say this. Way before Tyler Perry became into the movie industry, from a guy who have worked in the movie industry for 35 years, who's retired from the movie industry, I have to say that black men was wearing wigs way before he came on the scene. He did most of his stuff through plays and these church women and all that kind of stuff. I would say he was a pet rally to what was going on. He's just a piece of the puzzle. But a lot of this stuff was going on way. If you listen to David Chappelle, his story is not just true to himself, but it's true to a lot of actors, all the way from Wesley Snipes to some of the biggest actors on that screen. So this is not a new thing for me. I've been watching this. I've been, Flip Wilson way back in the 70s. You know, he took off the dress and said he would no longer be Geraldine ever again because Geraldine had become bigger than what his talent was. So he did take off the dress, and then he explained it, and they pretty much canceled the show after that. So, but what I'm trying to say is, for a person who have worked inside of them walls, there's a design purpose for all of this. And that's why when they do get a minority, they want to put a woman in charge, because women don't feel the same way when it comes down to these. I like the part that my brother put on to the consonant bandits or whatever he put on there. That sounds real good. It goes together real good. This has been going on for a long time. And this is something that OGs like me, the boomers like me, we don't get along with a lot of the other boomers because we have a different way we roll. You know what I mean? And I have just as much trouble out of boomers that some of you younger people. And I've always been one of the first boomers to come to this YouTube street and say, we failed some missions. We did. We lost some battles. and that's why we got the outcome we got today. But when you really think about this, there's a mission. You know, you got cases in the Supreme Court trying to get pedophiles. NAMBLE is a group called.
We got to work. We call it.
Oh, okay, okay.
P word. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. Okay, the P word. So we got to understand that they got court cases ready to roll in the Supreme Court, that they should be able to love whoever they love, and that's what happens when you open up that Pandora box and saying two people could, when the same gender, can do what they can do. Then now another person go come along and say, "Why can I marry my brother? Why can I marry my sister? Why can I marry my mom? Why can I marry my dog?" You know what I mean? So when you open up that Pandora box, there's nothing left in our community but our children. That's what we got to be trying to protect. Our children.
The P words, even they fighting for the right to be normalized.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's the cases I'm talking about. These are the cases I'm talking about in Supreme Court right now, trying to get situations saying it's a medical condition and they should be able to love whoever they choose to love, regardless of that person, what age that person is. That person has consent. Now, I'm going to tell you how they're going to go through the back door with this. And right here in America, right here, in most states, I know there's 12 states that a girl can get married at 14 years old if a mother consent to it. There are some states don't even have a age limit. When she becomes into a puberty, that person can get married with her mother consent. Now we are having these single mothers. Think about this: no fathers in this house who can consent their daughters can marry anybody they want to marry. So that's how they go coming in the back door with this. So y'all just stay tuned for part 2 of this shit that y'all are starting to see.
We gotta watch the cussing, bro.
Oh yeah,
we gotta watch the cussing. This is on my platform. On my platform, I'm cool with it, but we're guests.
Yes, sir. Well, I do come over with Bernard's channel sometimes, and I do let the one. I apologize. That was a slip of the tongue. That was a slip of the tongue.
No problem, JC.
One thing you realize in Hollywood, they will never put out a realistic, 100% red pill movie out there for men in the way it is. I remember Elijah Curry said this on his channel. This movie Aaron Eckhart was in, and when they put it out, a lot of females was complaining about it. Had a lot of misogynistic undertones from their point of view, and we all know that it probably was bullshit because the fact is,
Snickers, Bull Snickers.
No, sorry, man.
There you go.
Yeah, but we all know that Hollywood is most percentage consumer base of women and stuff because they spend the money. They're gonna cater to the audience.
Not only just women, you got guys who want to be women are making these major decisions in Hollywood and have always.
That's the next step now, because as you see now, you know what I'm saying. Now they want to cater to their community because they spending the money to do that. I remember seeing another document. What was that? It was on one of the BT Awards and one of the damn Transformers as they wanted him to be in a dress, but he wanted to come on he wanted to be in the dress, but they want him to wear dress as a man and stuff. So kind of backfired on them. Yeah. Huh?
You talking about Billy Porter?
Nah, before him.
I'm talking about the comedian that they wanted to wear a dress.
No, it wasn't a comedian, but it was like when they did one of the red carpets, BT World, and the other dude that worked with Deborah, what her name is, I forgot his name. He wanted to wear his dress he was a transformer himself. But,
okay, gotcha.
But they did something that but the fact is, that's the next step they're doing now, really going hard, hand in heart. And the funny thing about it though, women keep supporting this movement so damn much and thinking that we can still rather boys be masculine, boys be free, no judgment, blah blah blah. I'm like, yo,
this is my thing though.
You know what's even funny though? I want to mention because
yes, sir.
With this, and I want to mention about the Bill Cosby situation, what just happened.
Okay,
and it's so funny how you got females preaching about the no judgment, but yet most of them already made their decision with Bill Cosby and stuff like that.
Black women are the most judgiest people in the United States.
And I'm like, yo, and you even tell them, like, you know what? I'm not even rooting for him to be guilty or innocent, whatever. you could just challenge how they handle the case. Because I just went through a situation like that. Like, yo, I'm not taking his side or against him or what. I'm not saying he's innocent or guilty, but I'm challenging how they handled the case in the first place. And so that's what I'm challenging. And the funny thing about it taking that I'm already taking sides and you need to be guilty, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, look at how you judging already. But
yeah, but you can't care about that, my brother. You got to see, this is one thing we got to do as men, right? This is one thing we have to do, right? Any revolution you ever seen in the time of history, when it comes to time for you to have a revolution or evolution, you have to get on front line. You can't worry about the weak ones. You can't worry about the ones who's causing the problem in the neighborhood in the first place. And this why, little Nate, I don't want police departments to have military equipment, because these eyelashes that these women are putting on could be considered as weapons. And I don't want to like.
Whoa! You talking about the tarantula legs?
No, I'm talking about the camera. You know, Joe Camera was taken off the market because it's supposed to be catered towards kids. They bringing Joe Camera back because Joe Camera had all them long ass camera eyebrows. And if you go back and look at the older pictures, that's what our women.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what our women are starting to look like, the damn Joe Camera or goddamn brand. So what I'm trying to say is, we don't want innocent people shot down because some woman has something on her eyes that look like a damn weapon, and you know, automatic weapon goes off. It don't have no doubt the name to it. So, but what I'm trying to say, really, a more serious note to that is, you got to understand, we are living in a society that women feel like they want to be number one, and if it means throwing us under the bus, that has never stopped them. It has never stopped them. Now, I'm not speaking of all black women, just like you, my brother. I am speaking of the ones who walk like that. Because just like I say, I come from the Nation of Islam. Our women coming in there with that same Negro spirit, just like the guys do. But at the time we walk in there, we walk out a different person because we learn knowledge of self. But I'm talking about these ones out in the street who are putting everybody in danger due to the fact is, if you don't have no man to protect you, and if you don't want no man to look like you, then when they are gone, who you think is next, young lady?
You are.
Let me chime in real quick. We got a super chat. I really wish I saw more super chats from my man Bernard now. DeAndre Strange with the $4.99. Sir, so greatly appreciated. His comment is, Diddy was the first to tweet bigging him up for his openness. Are we talking about Billy Porter or whatever?
Probably Lil Nas X.
Okay, either Nas X or Billy Porter.
What are you doing, man? Like,
dude, it's time to walk away. I got my next question. All right, so my man Mr. O talked about the men and the responsibility of men. Well, let me ask you this, gentlemen. Are we ready to move into a society that does not have welfare? As men, if we were to be able to secede, if we were to be able to establish something new, again, bringing the U.S. Constitution and all the wonderful things about this country that I appreciate in it, free market economics, our judicial system. Yeah, there's some remnants of racial issues there, but largely the way we go about punishing or judging people that are allegedly doing bad is one of the most humane in the world. There's things I definitely want to bring into this new America, but are black men ready to quote unquote do for self? And let me finish. And what percentage of us are? I need percentages, gentlemen. Mr. O, if you wouldn't mind going first.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this: the percentage-wise, I say it's only 25% of black men that are worth a damn. It's worth
wow, that's small. Wow, okay.
You gotta understand, we have a whole generations of men that's our son husbands. We have generations of men that never really had no masculine thought going through their body or through their head. So they only know how to do for self. You have to go basically show them rope by rope and everything. And you can only start that with dudes that's born, that's 7 years old, all the way up to like 13. Anybody else, they basically lost in the sauce. because you got to do nation building. You cannot. That's what Moses had to deal with when he was going through the desert. He had to let them generations die off before they even went to the promised land, because he knew if you bring the old to the place of promise, you will repeat what you already did when you left the place that you came from. So again, 25% of black men is only worth a damn because they stay on their square. They're not afraid of who they are. They willing to go ahead and sacrifice, and they will actually stay together and build a code. That's why I love about Minister Jab. He came out with 30 code. Out of every other content creator on his YouTube streets, he actually sat down like Ice Cube and came out with a code that's very easy to read, easy to understand. And if every black man can actually stand there on a square and say, you know what, black man, it's only us out here, so we got to stand with each other. I could rock with a man like that. Not no dude that want to tell me like, oh man, we've been in captivity for all these years. We just can't do that without the welfare. We need our women. We need them. When they love us, we love them.
Trash ass niggas, dog.
Yep.
Trash.
And then on the flip side, if I say only 25% of men only worth a damn, I hate to say it, only probably 9% of the sisters are worth a damn. But that's a good thing about that. They have
literally, whoa, Mr. O, literally 9%. How did you arrive at that number?
Because I can rule out 90% of women, and the 1% that I left out, and the 1% I left out, they already virtuous women. They already took it.
My nigga's cold-blooded. J Speed, what's your response to are black men actually ready to go for self, and what percentage of them are?
This is going to catch everybody's surprise. I believe in historical facts, and I believe in historical how other people who have came before me, who was much smarter than me and probably a lot more intelligent than me. I'm just a good thinker. I would say on both sides, there would be no more than 10%. And I think that we could move forward, but there are some things would have to happen before we could move forward on something like that. And I think it would be less than 10% on both sides.
God damn. You all are wild. Excuse me. I'm a little more optimistic. Melly Mel.
What's up?
Are black men ready to do for self? Meaning we do away with the welfare system. We don't sit around begging and waiting for things to be done for us or to us by a bunch of celebrity black politicians. We don't put our faith and our dependence on pieces of crap that end up going to the House or the Senate. It's all on us. Are we ready for that? And what percentage of us are ready for that, Mel?
Well, of course we're ready. Yeah, I mean, before welfare was created, we've been surviving without it. And so history, black men, especially, been building, without welfare. We have the ability to take something from nothing and make it into something big. And so yeah, of course we're ready. Now the big question, like you said, that really hit us, what's the percentage?
Absolutely.
I believe is that between 10 to 20% of us men.
Damn.
Stuff. Yeah, because we can't save everybody, and I believe in the 80-20 rule. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that 80% of dudes they too far gone. Like the other brother just has alluded. Yo, most of these young boys, they've been so indoctrinated by their mother's side so much female energy, and we ain't about to call out the dudes that, as they were say, blue pill alphas. I think that the new term Rollo Tomasi gave when he looked at Mike Rashad videos. We got dudes like that dude who so indoctrinated from a female side, too far gone. He doesn't even care about a man's side point of view. That we gotta even let that type of dude go. Like, yo, you really pandering. We gotta let all them dudes go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like they not really about building the communities like that, like in that structure. Yeah, they more like pandering one side, like and like we have to take our 20% and rebuild from that way and stuff. Yeah, and I think it's more like for women that's gonna follow. It's 20. I'll at least say at least 30%. Yeah, I mean.
So there's more women ready than men, in your opinion?
Yeah. I mean, there's more females in this world than men anyway. And there's going to be more women in this world than us. So I would say, like, yeah, I am starting to see some sisters starting to call out the sisters now. Like, if you seen this video of this young woman who was calling out females because she's realizing men is not even stepping up to her in the clubs. Don't want to talk to her.
Yeah,
no
I
more.
saw that video. I
Yeah,
was laughing.
I saw Baby Girl. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Exactly. She's like, it's
And
gonna
she was a nice looking young lady. I mean,
Yeah.
she was fit, you know, had a little hair done. She attractive young sis, but she needs to understand you can't blame men for not approaching you. There is such an overwhelming culture telling men not to approach you, threats if they attempt to approach you in a way that you don't like.
Yeah.
I think that's what she was going
AKA
into.
Bill Cosby, all of us.
Exactly.
I think that's
situation.
I think that's what she was saying. She was saying that they have set up a situation. That's why she was going in on women. They don't set up a situation. You can't even have romance, or you can't even find somebody attracted and you can't even approach them anymore. And that's what she was saying. But I believe I want to pick it back on a little bit why I say 10 and 10. One thing I know, there are more people who follow than ever there are people who lead. Okay. And leadership is not born. It's something you learn.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you got to understand that a lot of men who was raised in that situation, one parent home, and the other traumatic experiences, and you put all that other stuff you got into it. And you got to understand this too. I hear us talking about the Pookies and the Ray Rays, which I don't know exactly who they are because nobody sat down and explained to me like the red pill and the blue pill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead,
No, you can explain to me afterwards, but let me get this out. Let me land this helicopter. And that comes from one of the other content creator. You got guys that wear suits, guys who are totally eloquent, guys who know how to speak the grammar better than any white man and went to the Ivy League college. Some of them can't go neither.
I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so these are some of the pimps are in our community keeping this shit going on.
And so
that's why we got to get. We got the form organization.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Stop them.
Hiccups.
You know?
Okay, no problem.
To piggyback what you just said, bro. Now you ain't gonna you gonna knock me for what I'm about to tell you, but the most honest God truth of manhood I got was from my single father who raised me. My pastor.
Oh, wow, salute, bro. Salute.
Yep, my pastor who's actually happened to be my uncle, as well as his twin brother who was actually a pimp. They both raised me. All three of them raised me and gave me this intellect. Now, all pimps was like the ones in the movies. Majority of pimps that actually I've been around are actually just master minds. That's it. That's all. They just know how to pick out and basically view things from a different lens. See, a lot of people want to get emotionally invested in things. Pimps do not. They only focus on logic and on the prize, which is either could be money or whatever their pleasure might be. But they do not fold off their goal. They do not let nobody throw them off their square. That's why a lot of people hate pimps, but a lot of people respect pimps in that same fold.
Right, them old pimps. Hey, them no old pimps.
Gentlemen,
hey,
whoa.
I'm sorry.
Gentlemen. Time out. I got to call a couple of cash apps. First, J Speed with the 5 ball. Thank you, sir. For Brother Bernard, I want y'all to hit the super chats for Brother Bernard, especially if you have any questions. If you have questions that you want answered, you got to super chat them, and we'll discuss them for the next 20, 30 minutes that we got left. All right. On my PayPal, there's a brother named Mr. Lyons that hit me with the 3 ball. I appreciate that so much, sir. And this is for Miss Fredima. She said that if I did not give her stand in it, she would want me to refund the $20. So here you go, Miss Fredima.
And to go into about Pookie and Ray Ray.
Whoa.
You know how to stand in it with a black woman. Stand in it with a black woman.
And just for you being so patient, Miss Fredima, so patient, I'll give it to you again. Here you go.
My work was to help my son understand it so that he would know how to stand in it with a black woman. Stand in it with a black woman.
All right, go ahead.
Got it in.
All right, Pookie is an individual that was raised in a dysfunctional environment that was not guided right. So he's a victim of circumstances. He's a product of his environment. Ray Ray, on the other hand, he knows what's going on. He sees what's going on and he still participate in it because he don't give a fuck. That's the difference between Pookie and Ray Ray. Them dudes that I ain't gonna use the dread stereotype because I used to have dreadlocks and I didn't even act that type of way, even though I grew up in the most dangerous community in the country, Inglewood in Chicago, Illinois, the same place that Lil Durk and Chief Keef come from. So on top of that, Ray Ray, he gets his rocks off of doing bad things because he's an evil individual, just like his female counterpart Keisha. She gets her rocks off of seeing dysfunction, chaos, and mayhem because she cannot control herself, and the only way she can have control is she can get an out of control male that's controlled by his lust.
Okay.
Well,
now I know.
Pookies and Ray Ray are the D boys, the hood boys. That gets into trouble a lot.
Now I know.
Pookie and Ray Ray could be in a suit and tie too, working in corporate America. It's just a mindset.
That don't make him a Pookie and Ray Ray if he's working a corporate mindset.
Well, no, having a self-destructive mindset is what a Pookie and Ray Ray is. Let me just chime in real quick. Women are supremely selfish. They just are. Many of them are just built that way. I'm not being critical of them. They are supremely selfish, and all they care about is themselves usually. Everything they do is for their betterment. They do not think of the family until they possibly have one. Now, when a man conducts himself like that, and the selfishness is demonstrated through his criminality. You don't care about the society you live in. You don't care about the neighborhood you're in. You don't care about the damage you're doing to the people that are around you. Again, that's just feminine energy, that level of selfishness. And that, again, a Pookie could have a suit on. Absolutely, he could. But we're gonna start wrapping it up. And
Lene, I want to ask you something because I think this is very important.
Sure, go ahead.
And especially we're trying to separate ourselves. Is there space for change in an individual who might be under one of them titles? Like, let's say Malcolm X, what would we have called him?
When he was a criminal, a Pookie?
Yes.
But now, okay, this is my contention about the change issue. If you want better for yourself, fine. If you're willing to accept instruction, fine. If you're willing to do what we tell you to do and follow the dictates that we've set up to govern this new experiment, fine. I'm not dragging you towards success, kicking and screaming. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let you drown. I don't give a shit about anybody that doesn't want to listen, doesn't want to work. I'm not here to convince no grown man what he should already know. Granted, you grew up under a terrible mother who taught you nothing. Your father wasn't there because that's the kind of man your mother chose. But once you turn 18, 19, 20, you have access to the same media we do, and you see people with their beautiful homes, their beautiful communities, their beautiful families, and you should be asking yourself, how do I get that?
They do. They rob them.
As a man.
They do. They rob them.
and then
it backfires at the end.
You rob us in South Carolina.
Right.
We're popping your head open. That's what we're
right.
doing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Well, I want to go around and get closing statements, man. Shared the rostrum with two gentlemen I never have before. It was a pleasure. Melly Mel's he's a regular on my channel. What did you want to say in closing in reference to what we got going on, in reference to this corrosive American culture? And a lot of the corrosiveness, unfortunately, is coming from us. Go ahead.
Well,
Melly Mel, go ahead.
My point of view, we have to start taking more control and putting ourselves in check within our own community and be unapologetic. We got to start calling out in ourselves, in our own communities, about this mess and staying firm with it. And so, I mean, I am seeing that in the Black Manosphere a lot, despite they try to take y'all down, but y'all still bounce back up. Got to continue. It has to get to the point that we have to start creating our own media. That's one of the starts and stuff. And we got a lot of geniuses, in the Black Manosphere that tell me that can actually happen someday if y'all put yourself together and start creating our own YouTube channels. That we have plenty of tech guys know that stuff, to run stuff. behind the scenes and stuff. So, that's definitely be a big start, creating our own media platforms, online social media platform, to the point that this is our network. We're going to make our own rules and we support ourselves and stuff, and have people follow and make sure it stays within the same formats, because they say, like, we don't want to wind up like a situation like a BET. Bob Johnson left, so that it was left over to someone who destroyed it because she cared about just making money to the detriment that I'm willing to sell up my people's soul and all that mess and dismantle the image of black men, just to make a buck. And so, and
understood.
Definitely.
Understood. Well, Melly Mel, man, I appreciate you coming through, bro.
Definitely, bro.
And hopefully I'll be up and running very soon, and expect to see you there shortly.
Definitely.
All right, man. If you don't mind letting yourself down, bro, I greatly appreciate it. My man, Jay Speed. Again, first time I've ever shared a rostrum with you, and appreciate you coming through. Appreciate what you added to the conversation. What do you want to say in closing?
I would like to say in closing, let me get my picture up, because I was taught you're supposed to look a man in his eyes when he's speaking. I would like to say, look, one of the first things I learned in me getting be an elderly gentleman is I learned that you have to take actions for the things you want. I opened up my home about 7 months ago, and I got like 20 beds in my home for people who need the most help. I take this from a page out of Dr. Fuller's. You say you give the most help to the people who need it the most. And I'm not talking about the people who are not the needy, but the ones who are greedy. I don't deal with them. I'm talking about people who are dealing with mental traumatic experiences in their life, and they want to be better. And that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the time that I'm here in the United States, in which everybody know that I'm moving to Africa to build a school over there for female and males. And the numbers over here are so low to 10% that I feel like I can do much better over there and reach my hand over here and show a success of it. And I don't have to be worried about somebody trying to tear it down one way or the other. So I think we just have to be a lot more doers, stand up to the plate, get ready to hit the ball, regardless of the naysayers or whatever. But I've had naysayers in my life, all my life, and I've been very successful in what I do. And I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect, but I'm striving to be the best human that I can be. Regardless of whatever my shortcomings, I'm going to always give back.
Awesome, Jay Speed, man. Absolutely awesome. I appreciate you coming through. Like you said, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and hopefully we'll see you around there shortly, man. Again, I so greatly appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
You wouldn't mind letting yourself down, sir. All right. And I just put Bernard Riley's Cash App in the chat for my brother Theo. And we've been, normally on my channel, Mr. O, the guy that gets to go last is the guy that, in my opinion, had the most impactful statements. So it's kind of an honor, to be the last one that goes before me, man. But you did a great job, man. I appreciate you coming through. I look forward to you being on my channel also. And in closing, what did you have to say, sir?
Well, thanks again for the honor, and thank you for letting me come onto this platform. See, I'm not like the rest of these quote unquote content creators that don't give kudos to people that let me come onto their platform. So again, thank you very much, and I'm glad. I hope I gave some insightful information and great dialogue with the people in the chat, and as well as yourself. And I will be subscribing and be a very good participant in your show as well. Only thing I want to say is, black people of America, look, 2020 and this new great reset has opened your eyes and showed y'all what we need to be done. It is time of playing around, time to go have all this fun and partying. We've done too much of it. Now look outside your communities. We are dying in these streets. We're not thriving. We don't want to go nowhere, but we are stuck in the same place. We got to do better, and I'm not trying to point no fingers or tell what we need to do, because we all grown individuals at the end of the day. I just want people to have the right type of mind to see in the future. We cannot keep moving in this direction that we're going in 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, Lord forbid 10 years. They say the black wealth will be ceased to 0% by 2053. Do you understand? Even though that's only like 31, 32 years from now, that's a very short time frame, especially if you want to go ahead and get some economic growth. Because they bring in all the automatons, they bring it in crypto. They are trying to go ahead and go into the new age, which is the technical age.
And
So
don't forget the open borders, Mr. O.
oh yeah, open borders. Look, look. She does not look like y'all. She does. He did not look like y'all. I'm talking about our former president. They're bringing the immigrants to take away our jobs that we still be able to call our own, which is low skilled jobs, and we'll become third class citizens. Do y'all really want this? And sisters, I love y'all, but y'all really, really, really need to go ahead and check these ratchets out here because they're all making you good sisters out here look bad. And if you do not speak up, we will have to go ahead and include you in the same group because you did that to us black men for 40 years. The good ones, the hardworking ones, the strong spiritual ones, you basically said we was too lame and boring. Now, 2021, you asking for these same kind of men to come back, and I'm saying, what's that to come back to?
And Mr. O, you know what I tell the quote unquote decent black woman on my channel? I have a saying, and I tell them that their silence is their cosign. Their silence is their cosign. If you do not speak up about the nightmare that we see out here when it comes to these young BWs and the like, you are going to be dragged into hell with them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Ain't nobody gonna marry you. Ain't nobody coming to rescue you. Nothing. You better separate yourselves from these monsters and start to rebuild the image of the ABW. Otherwise, you're all going to be considered playthings. That's it.
Facts. I'm probably going. I have not made a video on my YouTube channel, but I'm about to go ahead and make an upload regarding this Bill Cosby release and post Me Too era because we got black men. We want to adopt the Mike Pence rule. I'm sorry. And
wow. Okay.
And I suggest, that every man invest at least 4 bands, 5,000, 6,000, and get you all the camera equipment, especially the body cams. Because I need you to go to your lawyers and drop non-disclosure agreement contracts for anybody that comes into your domain. They're not playing no more. They have not played with us for the last 20 years. They showed you their hand. You still want to love them, but I understand them. So you could do what you want to. You could go ahead keep on playing the dating game because it is a game to them, and you think it is real, but it's a game to them. You keep on playing it, but guard your heart close and keep your eyes open and play your cards that you was dealt with right. And that's it. That's all. You have a good night.
My man, Mr. O, man. I look forward to you being up on my joint. Absolutely. Salute, bro, if you don't mind letting yourself down, man. Thank you so much for coming through. Wow, man. You know, we had some hiccups, but, you know, another great stream. And, you know, y'all got to hit my man on the Cash Apps, dog. Like, he doesn't have to do this, you know. So, again, if you wouldn't mind on the way out, if you could knock a couple of Cash Apps out for the boss, so greatly appreciate it. I'll be broadcasting here Saturday afternoon. Not sure what the subject matter will be. I never get to go into everything I want to talk about, especially with all these weird moving parts on someone else's platform. But I appreciate you all being patient with me. I appreciate you coming and patronizing my little YouTube channel on my brother's bigger YouTube channel. And we'll have things back to normal in just a few days. But in the meantime, man, thanks for showing up the way you have. Thanks for the people who did part ways with their hard-earned money for Brother Bernard and for myself. I honestly, genuinely believe, again, I've been coming on panels for a year. And a year ago, I started telling folks we need to separate. Separate, separate, separate. Not on the basis of race like Mr. Speed thinks, but that gentleman is entitled to his opinion. But on the basis of ideology and what we want from and for this country. I want from it all the opportunity that is due me. I want for it to last and go on for several more millennia. Okay, and the only way that's going to happen is if we take back control over all of it, or We separate and begin to build something new. You'll have to make the decision on what you want to do. But I think it's over. I do think it's over, man. I think the left is so entrenched in the culture. They dominate all forms of social media. My son is constantly telling me on social media, which is Snapchat, there's always, the alphabet letter folks. All their advertisements are everywhere. On television, their advertisements are everywhere. I saw a commercial. It doesn't air in America. It airs in Europe, where a man, what appears to be a man, comes out of a train station and he asks a woman for a tampon. He says, "Do you have an extra tampon?" What appears to be a black man with a bald head asks a woman for a tampon. They are literally, the Luciferian left is trying to destroy us. That has been my contention ever since I came to this space, and it will not change until they do, and they will not. This is their objective, to destroy our country, to destroy the two-parent functional family, the nuclear family, which is the basis for our civilization. It's their stated goal. I've read from so many feminists their desire to destroy the American family. The left's desire to destroy the American family, to destroy the very idea of masculinity and femininity, which, when properly developed, there's such a beautiful synergy between the two. And if you can vote for that, if you can support that, then so be it. There's not much we have in common, and I don't think you'll be welcome in whatever we end up building. But I've ranted off enough. I wish the troll nigga, the pathetic little effeminate troll nigga, would have brought his little troll nigga behind up here so I could deal with him. You weak, effeminate black men with your internet muscles in your dirty little fingers need to learn how to come up and represent what you believe, you coward. You effeminate crybaby losers never want to come in and defend what you believe. You run off to your safe spaces and whine and cry about racism. You are an embarrassment to us, and you will not be welcome in whatever we build. That I can assure you. I got to stop. I really could go on for another couple of hours just tearing into these monster men, but I'll stop. I know my man Bernard's probably ready for this to be wrapped up. And again, man, thank you for following me over to Bernard's platform. I so greatly appreciate it. Thank you to everybody that parted ways with their money and purchased the product. Miss Fredima with the 20 ball. Thank you, madam. Thank you. So greatly appreciate it. And I want you to be good to each other. Salute. Bernard, whenever you're ready, you can wrap it up, sir. Y'all take care, man. Appreciate you coming through here. Shout out to Poetically L.A. Lipscomb. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate all the lovely ladies that come through and support my channel. Again, Bernard, I hope he's not asleep or something. Let me text him, making sure he's knows I'm wrapped up. Let's see here, Bernard Riley. All right, but I bet you sleep. I bet you anything, oh boy, sleep. Bernard.
No, I'm
okay.
There you go,
dog. There you go. There you go.
I'm up.
Okay, man. Dude, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate everything you've done, bro. Thank you so much, man.
Yep, no problem. No problem.
All right, well, I'm gonna shut it down, man.
Yep. And we are out of here.